most of the time. It's like a flower portal to another time. The channel with a mystical flair. Gotta make the lesson set and clear. 369 time mission, please take me to the higher place. I'm locking my intuition, feeling spirit's embrace. From the path to psychic abilities, tarot cards and more. I'm catching all the vibes like I never did before.
Goodbye.
Because I've had a group of people, it's like, am I dead and don't know? Because the answer is kind of yes, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a very simple way to I guess say it. But
How can I explain this? The labels is what's kind of puts the filter on your brain of how you view it. But basically, when you know that everything is happening all at the same time, all at once, it's these different levels, right? So the way I view this is kind of like a computer matrix that we are in. It's a grid system. If you apply everything that we do, basically everything that we create and do is a duplication of what we are. From our energy to the actual physical body, the things that we create are based on what we are. Since this is a computer matrix, which is a computer, if you think of a grid system, if we're functioning on a certain plane, that means that there's a duplication of that same energy on another plane. So this is kind of like how you meet like your soul group or soul tribe of people that remember you from other lives. People that kind of gravitate towards you.
no, I was gonna say. So I think that's where maybe I can get hung up. So you're saying, so basically, like a parallel is like a parallel dimension, or like a like you said, everything happening at the same time, right? Because it is, and this is just what we're tapped into right now.
Yeah.
So that's like the part that I'm maybe a little remedial, but I'm still like, grasping that. So we're tapped in right here, right now. That's why this is what I'm focusing on right now. So what you're saying is, in the grid, the same thing is happening too, with a different version.
Yeah, you have to draw a picture really to see it. Think of a plane, right? We're on this plane, and there's another plane, same thing, different little variations, but it's like you're on this one, you can still be on this one. Same people that you know on that plane, you're going to eventually cross them on this plane, but they may not be the same characters. They may not be your brother or your sister, your mother or your father. They might be somebody else on that different plane. But it's like you cross paths and you'll be like, I know you, and you have this energy bond. So you may become friends in that other plane. You may become lovers in that plane. But you know that there is some type of connection beyond what you were taught. And then it's also like time isn't what you think it is. Time is real hard to explain. It doesn't actually exist. It's a perception.
Right. I mean, it simplifies things like for the human mind. Okay. So I'm actually going to go back. I'm going to backtrack really quick. Going back to what you were saying with the different characters. So I have a different understanding. It could be all of these things, right? But like, it's my understanding that like, when we, I guess, decided to come here or whatever, like signed up for our roles or whatever, those same people, like you were saying on the planes, like, so maybe someone was my brother or my sister, they might be like my father, or like a cousin or something on this side, right? But over here, this is what they were. It was my understanding that those would be two like separate lifetimes. So like someone that could have been like my sister in a different lifetime, because we're part of the same soul tree or grouping or family, we're going to be together on all of the journeys, right? But just with different characters. But what you're saying is that it's happening at the same time, but
Yeah,
differently.
because this is like when you do a reading, and then when somebody says, well, I'm picking up past life issues or
Right.
trauma, that label itself, past life, can be misleading, because that's what we're taught to use that word to. You are, and then your perception of how you view it is, you'll feel it as it happened before. There really is no such thing as before and after. That time dilation is what we use to describe the event. To us, we'll just say it's past, but it really could be parallel.
Got it.
Because it's happening at the same time. But that same energy can coincide with that person because it is a part of their multiplicity existence. You're a multi-dimensional being, multifunctional.
So we're living in it's a program, right? What, let's say that it's like going back to the grid that you were saying. There's a me over here and a me over here, and we're all coexisting at the same time, right? This is just what I'm honed in on. What does that even look like when you involve the spirit world? Like, is the spirit world, is that the spirit realm, I should say, right? Is that part of a program as well? How does one tie into another, and how is it that we live in a matrix, right? And we're multi-dimensional beings. Okay, that's fine. Then where does our soul essence eat? Because, and maybe it's the way my brain works, because I'm looking at it like two ways. So we're in a matrix, right? To me, that's very cut and dry, very much ABC. It's a program. It's written very calculated, right? But then at the same time, being a multi-dimensional being, right, it's quite the opposite. At least it feels that way of a program. I don't know how to say it, but it's like on one hand we have the matrix, which is very simply put like computer programming, right? Mm-hmm. And then on the other hand you have a very like fluid, soul warm, multi-dimensional properties. Like, how is that coexist? How is that all the same thing? How do they tie into each other? Like, that's for me something that I ponder and I just I have no answer. And it's not even so much as simple as the answer is within me. I don't know what doors I need to unlock within me, but I would really like to understand.
All right, this is my breakdown. Since we are a chaotic energy, we're all things everywhere at the same time. In order for that chaotic energy to start forming some type of understanding, there has to be some type of linear movement. That's where the time and stuff starts coming in. You start collapsing things, fragmenting things to form storylines. Because chaotic energy is everywhere all at the same time. We just believe that we can't be everywhere all at the same time because of what we're taught. But this matrix itself, or what's the word, fragmented to where we see it more. So we have the stars, right? We have ley lines. The stars, astrology, those stars aren't actually in a line. They're not like Orion's belt isn't actually a straight line of stars. They're not even by each other. We just perceive it as that.
Right.
But with these stars and these ley lines that we notice on the ground and the ocean, that certain things happen at certain points on the ground and above based on where this light is at and at this point at the ground. We get our facial features based off the ley lines and the stars, our existence, what we look like. So that's the same thing as grafting. When you're on a computer and you're making an image, you have a grid system, which you have a vertical lines, you have points. It's like an XY axis, XYZ axis for us.
I got it. Okay, so that just brought that into, okay, so that makes sense. And so what you're saying is like, That's how the different properties. I think I get what you're saying. I don't really know how to say it, but I think I understand what it is that you're saying. So if certain things are lined up on the grid, I guess, so to speak, in the program, that's what determines what is happening now here versus what is happening now
Somewhere in another plane, in another dimension.
Right.
Yeah,
and then there's the layers to the shit. So on this layer, right here at this coordinate, at this that's what's happening here in this now. But in this now over here, because you're on this layer right here, I think I found it. I don't really know how.
And it's not supposed to be uniform. Keep trying to understand it in a uniform way of we're all seeing it at different points in time. That's why you have certain people that say, hey, I'm from this planet, or this person says I'm from another time, because that's what their memory and experience is on right now. Everybody experience is different. So the only way we can ever really understand it all collectively, we have to share information. We have to talk to each other. We have to share these experiences.
This powerful creative card will give you the blessings of a quick, powerful, and very creative mind this period, and to a lesser extent for the entire year. This power can be applied with great success to any project that involves writing or other creative mental pursuits. You may even get some ideas for projects that are far ahead of their time. This card can also represent an initiation into a new way, or for of thinking or communicating.
Another person, like you said, Cat Williams, you sent me the thing about Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he said, okay, there's a God because there's something for everything, which isn't true. He's saying blanket statements. So when you make blanket statements, some people get, yeah, that does make sense. You're just making blanket statements. You're not actually deep diving into everything. Because it's like, okay, so what's the purpose of all these predators, insects, bugs, worms, stuff that really don't actually have a purpose? I didn't have bugs in the other life that I existed in. This is a new thing that freaked me out. So it's
okay.
Like I don't like bugs. I don't see any purpose for them at all.
Well, bees. So if that one thing they was talking about was bees. Bees do a lot. I'm not gonna break it down because I don't want to get too off topic.
I think it was just we created it though. I still think we created all this stuff.
Well, who is we? Like that's the thing. It's like we, as in a whole bunch of us's, or we as in one, just like one source that we are all little tentacles of.
I don't know. To me, this is like a purgatory, heaven and hell matrix that there are multiple entities in here. You can say it's a whole. You can also say that this matrix is actually a person or a brain.
Well, one big brain, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah. It's so many things that you can call it, because that's the purpose of being multifaceted, multifunctional, multidimensional. And that's the part that people forget. It's like you keep trying to fragment it into this small compartment when you're an abundance of things. So when you're trying to even understand the information, you keep trying to fragment it and restrict it versus accepting what you really are. These and certain animals, because when I was in school, we were taught certain things, and that's what makes me feel like we're constantly going through Mandela effects and don't even realize it. So when I was in school, I was taught that chickens and the eagle were created from the dodo bird. So even as a child, I'm like, okay, so they already had the technology to clone and duplicate way back then. But now in the history books and everything, they teach us that chickens been around and eagles been here since forever, and it's a part of ancient history. And I'm just like, so the information just keeps changing. It changes to adapt to the thought of belief. Whatever makes you believe, that's what it changes to. Cats and dogs were also created. They were genetically modified from bears and wolves and lions and leopards.
I was gonna say, so you weren't taught, I think, what was it? Not Darwinism. Evolution? You weren't taught that? You were taught that it was
They put that in
genetic?
there too. They put that evolution, which evolution sounded fake because that didn't make sense. How did it evolve and nothing? It just stopped evolving. But I already did my research on Darwinism. You just have to do your research on that. Even evolution.
That's what we were taught anyway.
Yeah.
It's so strange because I have had an experience, well, probably multiple, but just one that I'm able to remember as it was somewhat recent within the last year, where I wrote it down, even though it wasn't a dream, but I didn't really know how else to like classify it. But like I was not asleep, but I was not, I guess, fully awake. Like I had just come out of sleep, but I wasn't asleep. I don't really know how else to say it, but I did have a thing where I was like in a dream state, you could say, where I jumped off of a bridge, right? But jumped off of the bridge into water, but the water ended up being a tube, a really like long tube. And when I say I wasn't like sleep, I remember like I felt everything. I was fine, like I wasn't scared. Like, I intentionally did this, and it was like I ended up being somewhere else. It was like time was passing, like, and I could almost feel like wind, if you want to say. I can't really, but it was a tube, and it was like dark purpley. Anyway, I ended up on this, I guess you could say, ship. Yeah, maybe like a ship or something. And actually, I haven't even really spoken this out loud, but anyway, we get there because it was me and like other individuals, and it was like this general or like sergeant or someone in charge that was basically like barking commands, and I don't remember what it is, he was saying. I just remember the feeling, and me feeling like, okay, I have to take in all of this information, like, telling myself, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, and just taking in all this information. And like, just remember, like, I didn't have a fear, I wasn't scared, but it was more like a focus. I have to get this information, and everybody was like focused on what this general was telling us. And then we were like sprayed down with this really cold fluid. Was that, I guess you could say, it was like water, but it was freezing cold. And I remember having the thought that it was uncomfortable, I guess you could say. And then as soon as I was like sprayed down, I woke up, but I wasn't asleep. And I immediately, like, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, but I didn't forget, and I was awake. I can't explain it though, but I wasn't asleep. And so I have nowhere to place that experience because
you're shifting into one of your other cells. You're catching yourself shifting into one of your other cells. That's what that is. As I always tell people to do this, like, before you go to sleep. I'm pretty sure you've done this, probably like said something like as you were falling asleep, and then be like, what the fuck did I just say? Because you start talking, because you're shifting into that other person, your other self of you. And then you might dream for like a quick second, and you done seen a whole bunch of shit, and you wake up and like, what the fuck was that? So when you're trying to start catching yourself go into that other life and be aware. And most of the time we're usually focused on the body, how the body feels. We're listening to the breathing, or we're feeling our arm, our leg or something, and it kind of distracts us from falling into that sleep. But just try to write that down. Catch yourself when you're blurt out something, when you kind of just shift and catch yourself right before that sleep. It's like, okay, I'm finna fall into another dimension of myself, but I need to pay attention and just watch. Don't panic. Don't try to judge it. Just watch.
I'm gonna try to do that tonight. That's what I'm gonna do. Just try to catch it. See. I feel like I got homework.
Trying to build real business credit but don't know where to start? We've got you. Download the free ebook, Building Business Credit with Net 30 Accounts, your step-by-step guide to establishing credit the smart way. Perfect for creators, entrepreneurs, and small business owners ready to fund their growth. No fluff, just strategy. And it's free. Scan the QR code now and take the first step toward financial power. Tap in, lock it down. Create with confidence.
Late at night, I'm scrolling through my feed, looking for something that I really need. Then I stumble upon a channel so divine, it's like I found a portal to another time. A channel with a mystical flair. Gotta make the lesson set and clear. 369 time missionaries take me to the higher place. Unlocking my intuition, feeling spirit's embrace. From a path to psychic abilities, tarot cards and more. I'm catching all the vibes like I never did before.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I went through something.
So did people treat you differently or treat you negative because you were doing tarot?
Not to my face anymore. Around the time that I really started getting serious into tarot, I was just called away from a lot of things, a lot of people. So I had already, the people that I feel would have the most to say about it are no longer a part of my journey for now where I'm at. And it's all good. It was just, I really got to the point where, kind of like how I was saying earlier, like conversations were happening and I'm just like, bruh, can we please talk about something else? And it just got to be like that all the time, where just literally everybody would be where everybody was and then they'd just be me, like completely zoned out. And it's just like, why am I even here right now? Like, what actually, why am I here? So it got to the point where I started to like distance myself, just got called, and then just different things in my life were happening. So I was a little bit more isolated, which has never really been an issue for me, which can get dangerous because I don't mind my own company. But so yeah, I feel like everybody, I mean, and I think the people that are in my life still, for example, like my parents will say, they may have an issue with it, but they're not gonna say anything to me about it. I mean, and maybe they will, but I am definitely the black sheep of the family. So I think they stopped really kind of, I don't want to say paying attention to me, because that's not true, but just kind of really paying attention to what it is that I got going on. Because I just kind of always done my own thing. I always questioned the church. I always just wanted to know shit that they didn't have the answers to, when I would question stuff, and I would get in trouble for asking the wrong questions, and I'd be genuinely curious, like, how does this not make sense to you? Like, I don't understand. And it would be like, I'm blasphemizing. And as a kid, I'm like, I'm not trying to blaspheme. I don't even know what that means. I just know the way don't feel right and don't make sense. So why am I bad? And it was like, throughout my whole, just even now, existence, it's always been like that. So a lot of the people that I think would say something or have something to say about it, they don't say it to my face. They don't. They won't. Like, nobody takes it. I shouldn't say nobody, but the people that take it seriously are the ones, I guess, that matter. I don't know. Like, dozing off, but the lady was talking about something along the lines of, I'm gonna say this and try to make it make sense. The Earth having its own chart, or like based on your chart, your natal chart, there are specific places that you can go on Earth to help specific things manifest much easier. So it's like, if you're at this point in your life, if you are on the map, or if you live like in this longitude and latitude, whatever the case may be, your chances of whatever A, B, and C are like 10 times higher in the UK than they are in Dallas, Texas. You know what I mean? Have you heard of that?
Yeah, that's true.
What
it's
is
like
that called?
It's like the ley lines that we live on.
Okay.
It's also like a projection of energy, because depending on where you are born, the ley lines also predict how you will look, like the shape of my, like the nose. Because I'm an Aries, I have like a bent nose. My features are going to form a certain way based on where you're born at. If you're born, like if you're born like in New York, you're probably going to be taller, slender, stuff like that. So all these energy points dictate how we act, how we look, and like you said, certain activation. Like, I always knew that I was supposed to be in Atlanta for some reason. As a kid, I was like, I gotta go to Atlanta. I didn't know nothing about it, and I kept trying to come here. When I graduated high school, I was like, yo, I need to go to college in Atlanta, and my parents wouldn't let me go. I was like, either way it go, I know I'm going to make it to Atlanta somehow, because I'm supposed to go there for this activation. And I didn't know nothing about tarot, nothing back then. I just knew I was supposed to come here. And then once I got here, that's when all the activation started.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I've always felt, I definitely have never felt called to here where I am right now, but I'm stuck here. Well, actually, I'm only stuck here if I tell myself I'm stuck here, but at least in the 3D right now, as it reflects, because I co-parent, so I've always felt called to the islands. Like, I'm going to live, like, as a permanent, where I'm going to live and die is going to be in the islands. Like, that's going to be what it is. And I just can't wait to go and live and settle. And it's going to be a while, because my youngest daughter is 6. So we're looking at some time, unless something unforeseen happens. But I strongly don't feel that the activations that I'm harder. I feel as though it's going to be harder, and I'm trying to be careful of the words that I speak over my life right now. So now I'm second guessing everything I say. But I just don't feel like I'm supposed to be here. We'll just say that.
Yeah, that's how I was. It was, I just felt trapped. It didn't feel like nothing was moving, but at the same time, it was like I was scared to leave. And then everything happened to where I had to leave. It was like I was paralyzed. My job eliminated my position. I lost my house. And then so it's like I had to move to Tennessee to try to get disability and, you know, try to get help. And then from Tennessee, I ended up moving to Georgia. So it's like I didn't try to get here. It's like I just went with the flow and it got me here. And then it was like once I got here, it's like my awareness changed. It was like all the stuff that I used to suppress and didn't talk about, I started talking about more because it was happening more. You know, I was having visions more.
To the fly factory where the beats are bumping and the vibes are fly. We got the 808s kicking and the melodies move just like a fresh fade and a brand new. If you need a trim or a quick shave, fly factory barber lounge got your cover. Yeah, located in Lawrenceville, GA. Give them a call or just stop on by. They'll hook you up and make you look so fly. Come on down to the fly factory where the beats are bumping and the vibes are fly. We got the 808s kicking and the melodies move just like a fresh fade and a brand new. If you need a trim or a quick shave, fly factory barber lounge got your cover. Yeah, located in Lawrenceville, GA.
Some things you gotta catch, like when you was talking about road rage, because I get like road rage.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
sometimes like I know to not do anything, like sit, stop, and be calm, because it's like a message for the calm. So usually the message is slow down, look out for something. But I have to control myself, like don't get mad. What am I supposed to be looking at, or what am I supposed to hear right now? And then it usually comes.
I love that. Good, yes.
I do that a lot when I go to a restaurant and they mess my order up. The first thing in my mind, I'm ready to go off, and then I'm like, nah, let me calm down.
How when they cooking your food though?
Don't let me say nothing. And usually if I stay calm, I'll get something free. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yeah, you just gotta put out what it is that you want, right? Well, yeah, it's annoying that the food did not, like, especially if you're hungry, shit, right? And if something's messed up, like, but what you want to get back is what it is that you want, and it better come back better than what you expected, right? Because they messed it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, you put it out there, and then like you said, you get free stuff, or extra dessert, and free drinks, coupon 20% off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's cool.
This period may bring ambition that encourages travel or is in some way related to travel or foreign interests. This could be a desire for money, to take a business trip, or to be used in some distant business deal. Caution is advised under Neptune's illusory influence, so be sure that all business communications and activities are clear. Also, you should question your own motives and desires, lest you fall prey to do deception along these lines.
Because that was kind of the reason why I suppressed a lot of things, or how I view things. I would always get, what do you call it? I guess psychic thoughts. And I would always warn people about certain things, but I would always get treated negative for it.
Premonition, you mean? Like a premonition?
Yeah. I would get those all the time. And it started off by me seeing people dying. It was always about death. I would see certain people before they die and how they die.
Oh, that's too much information.
So that kind of messed me up, because it was like I saw my best friend, like how he had died before he died. I saw pastor die, exactly how he died before he died. And so I was like, damn, am I doing something wrong? Did I make it happen? And this was me as a kid.
Damn.
Trying to figure this shit out. So I just started getting into tarot in 2019. And that was based off my intuition telling me to do it.
You just decided one day that this is what you wanted to try?
I was just listening to myself. I always have like an inner dialogue where I'm just kind of like processing information.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like once I had separated from my ex and I was going through so much, I'm like, damn, like, what am I going to do? Like, 'cause I was worried about how am I going to survive, because I was having so many seizures at the time. I didn't want to move back to St. Louis.
Right.
I was like, damn, where I'm going to live, what I'm going to do. And it was just, I want to know information before I leave this body, because I don't want to come back to this place. That was like my main, that was my main dialogue in my head, was like, I don't want to come back to this place. So I need to find out what's going on. And then that's when my inner self said, go to a psychic reader. And I was basically just having this conversation in my head, like, I don't know a psychic reader. I don't know where to go. And it was like, I'm going to go whatever lays out in front of me. I'm just going to go with the flow. And then that's how everything, it turned out. I went to a dating app, and then the person that I matched with was a tarot reader. So it was like, okay, this is how this works. I need to just listen to my intuition.
Right.
And that's how I got into start. And then I met my twin, and so it was just like, okay, I'm gonna just keep listening to my intuition.
Collabing with brands or creators? Don't wing it. Protect your work and your rights. Scan the QR code now to download your Content Creator Collab Pack. full of professional contracts and agreements made just for creators. Whether you're filming, editing, or promoting, cover your bases like a pro. Tap in, lock it down, create with confidence.
If you're curious about the 369 Mean Blunt Bear collection, let me break it down for you. This trendy collection showcases playful designs that blend comfort and style seamlessly. Each piece is crafted to make a statement, perfect for those who love to stand out in a crowd. The unique bear motifs embody a fun, approachable vibe while maintaining a chic edge, making it versatile for any occasion, from casual outings to more vibrant festivals. Plus, it is all about self-expression, so you can really showcase your personality through fashion. Embrace the fun spirit of the 369 Mean Blunt Bear collection this festival season. Why not try it for yourself and see how you can elevate your wardrobe?
Late at night, I'm falling on my feet. Looking for something that I really need. Then I stumble upon a channel so divine. It's like I found a portal to another time. A channel with a mystical flair. Gotta make the light sunset and clear. 369 time mission readings. Take me to the higher place. I'm locking my intuition, feeling spirit's embrace. From the back to psychic abilities, tarot cards and more. I'm catching all the vibes like I never did before.
Goodbye.
Certain people and certain things just ain't gonna exist anymore.
Or could it be that they exist, but just like not in your reality? Because I know for a fact that some people that don't exist to me, and I don't want to say are irrelevant, but like I don't even think about, but they're still existing somewhere.
Yeah, it's probably it's a separation of dimensions to me. Because it's like I always see things before they happen ahead of time. That's just how I've been my entire time here. So it's like I'm seeing just how people think their psychology is going to change. I had made a video about the definition of dreams will change eventually. What do you think the definition of dreams is now? Now it's like it's just your thoughts in your brain, and your brain is making these images, and that's not true. It's going to switch from that. It's going to go more into, they know that people are actually quantum jumping or going to different realities when they sleep. So all the different information that you pull from different realities and manifest within this world, they're going to start trying to use that against you.
So do you consciously make it a point sometimes, maybe certain times of the month or a year or what have you, do you consciously quantum leap, this is what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do this to do, or is it just something that you don't like to talk about, or is it just something that you just think just happens spontaneously?
Sometimes I consciously do it. Tell myself before I go to sleep, form a certain intention just to go to a certain place to get information. Okay. Other times it is just random, it just happens.
So do you think so it sounds like, okay, so you're saying like when you go to sleep, have you ever tried like any other ways? Have you heard of any methods to like how catapult yourself into
this? Everybody has different techniques, but I always suggest do what comes naturally to you, because I don't believe in no uniform way of doing anything happening to your abilities or getting information. You can use those abilities like I used to use Palo Santo, like burning it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like sage. I don't like the smell. Sage? I don't like the smell of it. I like wood. So burning like that. Cedar? It's not like cedar. It's different than cedar. It's almost like a fresher tree smell.
It's got a sweeter smell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
but some reason I gravitate towards it. I like that. I burn candles. I like different candles. So it's like everybody has these different techniques of meditating or centering your energy. Whatever technique you have, use it.
That's cool. I don't know what the feeling of. Like, I don't want to be presumptuous, but I know, at least where I live, it's been so cloudy, and part of it is because of the time of year. But we've had uncharacteristically
Something
warm.
flew by your screen.
Oh, probably an orb.
Yeah, it went from the side.
Yeah. So my altar is right here. So, it happens, and it's exciting. So thank you for telling me. But I was just gonna say really quick, I think they're putting something in the clouds. And I'm like, I'm not even in, and I think we're breathing shit in.
Yep, we are.
And unfortunately, it's being absorbed in our skin and the water, and I'm trying to be strong, but it seems like a lot of people I know everyone, even dare I say, is like in some way, shape, or form feeling like bogged down and so for me lately, it's just been listen, well, I don't want to say I'm selfish, and I don't want to say I'm self-centered, but at the same time, that's what I mean, but not in the low vibrational negative way. But saying all that to say, oh shit, I just completely don't, the thought just flew away. I guess I wasn't supposed to say it. I literally don't know.
Oh no, something flew by right before you stopped talking. I'm watching you and I'm watching the background just to see what's flying around.
Oh, it went out of my head, so I guess shut my mouth, I guess.
I don't know. I know they've been putting the stuff in the clouds. Well, those aren't real clouds that we're seeing anyway. It's
Do you think all of the time, or just most of the time? There's got to be something real up there.
Most of the time. Most of the time it's sprayed around about 6. 6 a.m. That's when you start seeing that stuff expanding, start to form like clouds. And then usually around nighttime when the sun goes down, that's when those clouds, so-called clouds, disappear.
Well, I gotta tell you, it's different times here. It starts around 11:30, 12 a.m. And I live in the city. And it's just loud, and they literally go for hours. I've woken up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and they still just be, and it's they go up and down. I'm not even kidding. We watched it, looked out the window, and it goes this way. It's literally what is it that I'm trying to say? Laps. It's making laps.
Crisscross.
Yeah. And I'm yo, they really are not even hiding this shit. We can see this. And I know we can see it.
Oh yeah, come on down to the fly factory, where the beats are bumping and the vibes are fly. We got the 808s kicking and the melodies move just like a fresh fade and a brand new. If you need a trim or a quick shave, fly factory barber lounge got your cover. Yeah, located in Lawrenceville, GA. Give them a call or just stop on by. They'll hook you up and make you look so fly. Come on down to the fly factory, where the beats are bumping and the vibes are fly. We got the 808s kicking and the melodies move just like a fresh fade and a brand new. If you need a trim or a quick shave, fly factory barber lounge got your cover. Yeah, located in Lawrenceville, GA.
Would you describe yourself as empathic?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. I was actually talking about this the other day as well. So I'm not sure if I am an empath or not. I feel as though I can identify with, I'm not going to go as far as to say I can identify with everybody. That's not. But I could definitely, I can feel, right? I can feel the shift in a room. I can feel, So I say all that to say, I'm also, according to other people and like, people in my life, I've been told that I'm very cold and that I lack empathy. And I've actually been told that all my life. And so I think the people that are closest to me, like two people that are like closest, three that are super close, they know like I'm not a cold person, right? But at the same time, certain things I've never been able to like, oh, this is gonna sound so crazy, but like cry. Like when I can think of one funeral in my life genuinely that I've been to that I like cried. But there are also people that I like genuinely love, but I don't know. And I don't know if it's because I have a different belief or I have like a different feeling. Like I don't believe that that's the end of that person. I believe it's the end of that, that skin, right? But it's nobody wants to hear that, especially when they're like mourning a loved one, So I just don't really say much because I never know the right things to say. So that's just an example. And then I just have a hard time feeling empathy. But at the same time, I don't. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I used to judge myself feeling like that too. Because I wouldn't cry at funerals. I think I only cried at like one funeral when I was younger. I had like a best friend that was like a brother to me. And that was it. That was like when I was 15. And then anybody else, like family members, I would go to the funeral, but I'm just sitting there. It's like I don't cry, but
No, I know it's same.
But as of like, I say around about 2019, when I was like really tapping into like all my abilities, that's when I became like real sensitive, like, and I didn't know what was going on. Like I would be crying, but it wouldn't be me. I was actually picking up somebody else's thoughts.
Right. That's
and I would be crying. I'm like, damn, what is going on? It was because I'm picking up. So it's like, now I know how to sympathize with certain people. Because like I'll get certain messages, like when I had this ghost apparition appear to me like in a room, and they wanted me to pass a message to their relative. And like when I finally gave the person the message, it was like I was crying because I was hearing their message and their voice and how they were feeling, but it was coming through me. And I was always told that too, because it's like I don't really show emotion.
That's interesting because I think people do have different techniques. I have my way that I do, but I do also feel like another way to do that or to quantum leap is to set your intention when you go to sleep. This is when I wake up. For example, when I wake up, I'm going to be in my desired reality, and your desired reality is whatever it is that your desired reality is. Do you believe that?
Yeah, sometimes, and sometimes I'm just in the experience. Like today I woke up and I was hella tired. Like I was just sleepy when I woke up. So I was feeling weird all day. I was like, man, let me go to the park so I can get some oxygen. And I wasn't really thinking about anything just because I was feeling off today. I wasn't feeling that, didn't have a lot of energy. So sometimes I think we're just supposed to be in the moment, just be in the now, not really concentrate on certain intentions. Because you got to have a certain time where you're experiencing, and then you have a certain time where you're forming your intents and you're focusing and meditating. It's
You're
like
right.
Like breathing, you go in, out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I love that you said that. You're right. You're absolutely right. And I think that, well, I'll speak for myself. It can get easy to forget that sometimes. Present moment is what matters. Not what happened, what's gonna happen. Present moment is like the only real. So I think it's good. I love that you said that. So I was watching this documentary earlier today, actually. It was about Antarctica, and it was about how it used to be not where it is right now. And it used to be like, I want to say like up closer to where India is now. I don't know. Don't get me lying. But anyway, about how underneath like all of the melted ice and all of that, there's probably a whole another civilization going on like 2 miles below the ice. And like, it was really interesting. And it also kind of ticked me off, which I don't really get ticked off easily, but I got kind of ticked off because I'm like, I want to learn this stuff. Like, why didn't they teach us this shit? Like, this is the stuff that I would have liked to learn in school. Like,
Yeah, you ain't gonna learn shit in school. It's like you're gonna learn everything in real life, in the now. Because I don't think nothing that they teach us is real, because I try to use my abilities to learn. Like when I go to sleep, I try to astral project, see how far I can go. And from what I've seen, I don't think that the world is round. From what I've seen, that's all I'll say.
so what have you seen?
I've seen just other land outside of what they consider the world. It's like we're being shown a circle. We're inside of a circle, but there's stuff outside of the circle. There's more land.
So like the Truman Show?
Pretty much. Because that's what I was talking about, like the split. Is like, why isn't there more people that are consciously aware using their abilities? Why aren't remote viewers jumping around looking at certain stuff?
Okay, so because I don't want to assume, so let me clarify. Are you saying that, do you believe the earth is flat?
Yeah, I see it as a plane, like a plane that never ends. And
Just like a piece of land that just goes on infinitely?
Yeah, it's like you can reach certain edges, but the edges will just go to other dimensions. But as far as from what I've seen, is what they call the world is like a circle. Outside of that, what they call like the ice wall, there is more land. So that's where other people actually live, and where you get certain people with different abilities, taller people, bigger people, people that they call aliens, all that stuff. That's outside of the ice wall.
Stylish look.
Cool vibe.
Unique style.
Stand out.
Welcome to the 369 Ice Grill Bear collection. Today we're diving into why this t-shirt is a must-have for your wardrobe.
I love the stylish look. It's perfect for any casual outing.
The cool vibe really sets me apart from the crowd.
The distinctive gold lettering adds a unique touch to my closet.
I get compliments every time I wear it. It's a real showstopper.
Join the trend with the 369 Ice Grill Bear t-shirt today. Don't miss out on stylish comfort. Grab yours now.
Are you a serious content creator or music professional? Then it's time to protect your craft and your business. Introducing the Creator Business Master Bundle. 75 industry-ready contracts, forms, and guides made for artists, producers, editors, and entrepreneurs. Collab agreements, licensing forms, split sheets, everything you need to run your creative business like a pro. Scan the QR code now to download the full bundle. Tap in, lock it down. Create with confidence.
Late at night, I feel like on my feet. Looking for something that I really need. Then I stumble upon a channel so divine. It's like I found a portal to another time. A channel with a mystical flair. Gotta make the lessons set and clear. 369 time mission, please take me to the higher place. I'm locking my intuition, feeling spirits embrace. Running back to psychic abilities, tarot cards and more. I'm catching all the vibes like I never did before.
Goodbye.
But I wasn't asleep, and I immediately I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, but I didn't forget, and I was awake. I can't explain it though, but I wasn't asleep.
So have you had what are your situations with deja vu?
It used to happen every so often, and then it would happen a little more often. So it used to not happen often. Then it started to happen maybe a few times a year. And then now it's a little more. I would say once a month, but it's more than that. So maybe 2 times, maybe a month or so, and it's so that's why it intrigued me when someone asked a question on Slow Bella, because I'm like, wait a minute though, because it started to happen to the point where, dang, deja vu again. I just had it the other day. Have you ever had deja vu?
Yep, extremely a lot.
Extremely a lot, huh?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's an awful lot. Extremely a lot.
Because it got to the point, it started off, it'll be like deja vu. You'd be kind of confused, I've seen this before, I've done this before. Because it'll be moments where I just stop in my tracks, I did this already. And I'm like,
yes.
So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And then I started realizing it's memory. A lot of it's memory because I'm jumping around. I could have the dream that I'm doing something, then I was like, oh yeah, I did this in the dream, which means I've already went to this point in time.
Is that what it means? Is that your perspective because it does, it's kind of the same thing for me. The other day when it happened, I was just chilling in my bed, watching TV, and I'm like, yo, this whole thing actually already happened, and it's trippy. So you think what is your take?
I view it as we don't live in linear time. We're not moving in a straight line. I think we're always moving around. And we're existing and not existing at the same time. It started speeding up for me more, the deja vu things. First it'll be every few months, and then it was every day, because it started
every day.
If I wake up at a certain time, I'll dream certain parts of my day before it happened.
Damn. Oh, so that's so you get premonitions. That's what that is. Okay. That happens every day?
Almost. It depends if I sleep, if I get enough sleep.
Do you think that has something to do with it? Because that would make sense. If you don't get enough sleep, then you have it more?
Yeah, if I get enough sleep, it's I get more information. But if I'm tossing and turning and don't sleep for that long, I don't see that much happen. It doesn't happen.
The deja vu you're talking about.
Yeah. But the other part, I have deja vu throughout the day where it's I did this before, or a scenery.
Multiple times in one day. It's already tripping me out as often. So multiple times. How long has that been happening?
It started speeding up more these last 2 years. My mind started realizing what it was. So it's how I defined it started kind of speeding it up more. Before I looked at it as this happened before, but what is it? Am I supposed to wait for something to happen? Is a message supposed to come? Or I was just kind of just sitting there blank.
Yeah, so then you think it's you're coming back to specific points in time. It is happening more. Instead of understanding that it's not time isn't linear, right? So we get that. But coming back to that exact point, is that what you're saying? And so then that's happening multiple times a day, every day for a couple years now?
Yeah, lately it's if I go to the park, I was sitting in the park, and then I realized I've seen this park before, even though I go to this park, but it was I remember as a kid, I used to dream about this park. But I didn't realize it until I was at a certain angle. The sun was at a certain angle, and it's the shadow, and it was the same image. It was the images matched up in my memory. And I was like,
to the point where you froze for a second, wait.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is what I used to see. So it's I remember the images, and now I'm starting to figure out okay, so it's me jumping around. Those memories don't erase, but they are scenes and dreams, little flashes. And then it's when you live it out, for me, it's like a deja vu.
Sometimes that is the case for me, but I was also just sitting here remembering, like, for the one that I had the other day, it wasn't like I had been here before or like been like in that exact spot. It was just like I already saw. How do I explain? Like I already was familiar with it, or like I saw it. Like, okay, so what happened the other day was I had the deja vu, right? Like, oh, I've done this already. But I actually was brought back to a point like a couple years ago where I was standing in my kitchen at my old apartment. I used to live downtown, and it gave me, I just basically had a flash of when I was standing there of what was happening here, if that makes sense. And I just like, so that's kind of what I always thought. I guess everybody can have like their own interpretation. And I guess for me, maybe it is a couple different things that all fall into that same category where something is being repeated in some way, shape, or form. But with that particular situation, maybe it wasn't that I had been there, but I had already seen that a couple years ago standing in my kitchen, and like I had gotten an image of that. I don't know. It sounds crazy, but
It's the basis of it is something repeated.
Yeah.
But you're trying to figure out when did it repeat, because it's like you're jumping around. You'll see that image or that flash, or you say you were standing in your kitchen, but it happened at a different time, and then you repeated it again. So it was a future version of what you saw, and then it ended up happening. Then you experienced it.
Yeah.
But you're trying to figure out when did you see it first.
When did I see it first? Yeah. A couple weeks ago, I had a memory come back to me again. This was a couple years ago when I lived in my old apartment. And at that time, I feel like it was a dream. And I woke up and I was telling my ex, like, I had this dream that I was like a psychic and I had dogs. Like, those were just things that were not in my like realm like 4 years ago. Like, they just weren't. And I remember that particular moment came back to me like, yo, I feel like I had a dream about this. And I was like explaining it and just went on about my day. So I guess that's probably not deja vu then. That's what you would call like a premonition then, right?
It's not really a premonition. It's your kind of time traveling. You're seeing your future self in dreams, basically. That's why I say it's not really dreams. Your mind is allowing you to see all different aspects and different times of yourself. You may think it's a dream, and then when you're in your waking state, it may happen the next day. It may happen 5 years from now. It's still like a deja vu moment because that memory is still imprinted in you. That's why it's a deja vu. So it is a repeat of something that you did. It's usually from a dream.
Yeah, I clearly remember in that moment how I felt talking about my life right now, but it just seemed so like that was a crazy ass dream. Me having a dog, like what? Absolutely not. To have that moment recently, like, yo, I had a dream about this, like this shit actually happened. I remember how I felt when I was like talking about like that was very clearly a dream, like and so it's just kind of like every day I'm like, wait, am I losing my mind though? Everything seems like it's okay.
Baby, you know where to start. When you need a fresh cut, want that hair to slow. Fly Factory Barber Lounge is the place to be. In Lawrenceville, GDA, where you feel so free. So give them a call, or just stop by. Fly Factory Barber Lounge, let them get you fly. With that 808 beat and the vibe so live. You leave with a smile and a stylish style. Fly Factory Barber Lounge, they'll treat you right.
During this period, the steadying influence of the Six of Hearts will cause relationship issues to be dealt with and settled. Though you might be impatient at this time, you may be forced to slow down and act responsibly in all your personal affairs. You will get exactly what you give to others now, so be especially careful in what you are putting out. Rest assured that any matters, whether legal or romantic, will result in a fair and equal settlement for all concerned.
Hey, you want to turn up the volume on your medical cannabis wellness journey, but don't know how?
You want the ease of getting the products you need delivered to your front door? Then follow these 3 easy steps. Step 1, go to nugmd.com, your portal to a hassle-free path to medical cannabis. Answer a few quick questions and see if you qualify for a medical recommendation letter. It's a remix of convenience and ease. Don't worry, you only pay if you're approved. Step 2, congratulations! You're approved and armed with your medical recommendation letter. Now, you can use the official 369 Music Talk Higher.health link to sign up and make your first purchase. Step 3, head over to Higher.health, your go-to destination for premium cannabis essentials. From soothing strains to focus-boosting blends, they've got the beats covered. Turn up the wellness, turn up the creativity. Visit nugmd.com and Higher.health today. nugmd.com and Higher.health, your rhythm to wellness unlocked.
aprettylowlife.com.
But you always, I've come across those threads and things on social media where I came across this. Child, I don't want to start talking about people, honey, but somebody was talking about like 10 things that they would not watch because it's demonic and you're gonna go to hell. And one of the things was tarot and crystals, and she went on to explain her reasons. And I'm always interested in what other people have to say and, their opinions, because again, I like learning things. So if it's something that can expand me, like tell me, like I'm a glutton for knowledge, right? And so I was really, really trying to listen objectively, but there was just, I think a lot of times, especially in this day and age, all people are really doing is repeating information, and they're not thinking about what it is that they're repeating or telling themselves or telling anybody else. And I just feel like that's a big problem. And I could just say, like, for me and mine's, like, even so I have 3 daughters, 19, 15, and 6. And they're all very, well, you can tell they're my kids. We'll say that much. They're all very, even like the 6-year-old, she'll converse with you and have like conversations and be like, oh, they're so this, they're so that. And it's like, that's because I talk to them like I want them to grow into intelligent adults that are able to see the bullshit that surrounds us. I don't believe in just telling anybody really, but children in particular too, just anything. Like the things that I was told as a child and not told to question. It took me like damn near 3 decades to get comfortable really, with everything, with myself, you know what I mean? And I just think that I wish less people would walk around repeating things without thinking about them first. That was a really long way to say that.
Basically what you said is what I'm saying. Like what tarot is now, is like people are just repeating things and not thinking about what they're actually saying. They're not actually taking in the information that they're hearing. It's like they hear it, then they just repeat what they just heard, not taking the time to process it, see how it actually applies. Can it be changed? And there's a lot of things on that fit that mold, because it's like religion is the same thing. Like I started going to church like when I was 5. I didn't like it because it was like, why I gotta go here?
It was long. It was long.
It was long as hell. It was just, I just knew my Sundays was like my best days. And when you check my chart, Sundays are supposed to be my good days. So it was like they took my good day away from me. And it was like, I don't believe in that. I don't have a belief system. But I understand, like I don't knock anybody that is religious because I understand how it works.
Belief, right? Order.
Yeah, so, but I don't have a belief system. I have a no system. So okay. when I would be in church, I would sit and ask questions and they would be sitting there baffled. And I was like 8, 9, 10, you know, like talking about the Nephilim in the Bible. I'm like, here in Genesis 6:6, it says this. So what about this? And he was like, oh, I don't know. And then I'd be like, okay, what about this? This guy that was cursed to walk the world and he's supposed to be still alive now. You know, I'm going through verses and I'm like, and then y'all don't go by what y'all say in this book. And then it was just so many contradictions I brought up as a child. So they thought I was going to be a preacher when I was young. They was like, oh, he's going to be a preacher. I was like,
Up in the clouds and growing. Do you wanna fly with me?
All right, I do ask you to go on ahead and check out, and then if you should so feel, subscribe to my live channel, A Pretty Hotel 333, as that is where we do our live reads. All right, let's see what y'all got going on.
Shop for 369 merch right now.
Bucket hats. $36.99.
Camo bear.
$29.99. Don't miss out.
Go online now.
Click the link in the description.
because everybody got these different abilities, but it's like, okay, so why don't we just expand more on what we do? Like, you got light workers, people that can change the energy in your body. So why aren't we have centers for that? You know, why are we still taking pharmaceuticals? We got remote viewers, so why can't we find missing people?
Well, you know, that's what they say. I'm gonna say they, whoever they is, but that's what they say. It's like on is it Sirius B? Everyone's job is related to them. So your light workers literally do, and also they don't work for money. Like, everybody works for the one. Like, for, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they say that it is. Do you know what are your thoughts on souls that originate not on Earth?
I don't know, I'm mixed on it because that's what people tell me. I've had numerous tarot readers tell me I'm not from here. And I'm like, well, yeah, no, I'm not from here, but I don't know what to call it. I don't know if I don't view it as another planet. I kind of just view it as another universe, so to say. But I think that everybody comes from a different place. I don't know if I wouldn't necessarily call it a planet. I think that this matrix that we in allows us to see 9 dimensions at once. Those dimensions are other lives. And through those dimensions, we're also tapped into those memories. So some people see their other lives when they were on another planet. Some people see their other lives when they were not in human form. They could have been a beast or some type of animal. And I think all of those existence in this matrix. So that's when I hear people say, I'm from Pleiades, or I'm from here, or I'm from this planet. I think they're telling the truth because I believe that was a dimension that they existed in. I don't necessarily look at it as a linear time that it's a planet out there right now and that's where they from. Okay. So in another galaxy per se, with other planets, how does that fit into, because I follow what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So that's not necessarily, that's just like a different reality, right? That they were in, what time is fluid, all of that, right? What about the stuff that's outside of this? Makes sense? Yeah. I don't know if I'm getting that right. When I went outside of everything, I saw it as a box. Like this box, it's like a square box that contains all these different realities. And outside of this is just whatever you want to make. Like, I believe this is a controlled reality. Who's controlling it if not us? I think it's us. It's just the reason for the amnesia is on purpose. It's like a video game. Like, that's how I view everything. Like, this plane or this dimension is a level in a video game. Once you leave this body, you still get to go to another life, another existence. It's not going to be the same. You might still have food, but you may not eat apples. Apples might be purple in that world. And they might be poison in that world. So it's
I
like
see.
it'll be slight little differences in each reality, but they're controlled realities, like parameters, like a computer program.
Oh, have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yeah.
Do you mean like that?
Yeah. So that
Okay.
movie, that's basically how I dream. Like ever since
Okay.
I was a kid, I would dream in 9 different layers. I would go to 9 different realities within 8 hours of sleep.
That's exhausting.
But that made me realize how complicated I can process information. If I was
Right.
able to remember 9 different realities and have different lives, and then wake up and go to school and still remember what I did in those dreams and where they are, because that's what I was trying to tell my mother. I'm like, I'm not having dreams. These are real places, because I'm remembering streets. I remember people. I know where to go. I'm not just having random dreams. These have to be real places, because I'm not getting it from TV. I'm not getting it from nowhere in my reality. I'm seeing things that don't even exist in my reality. Like I saw cell phones and drones when I was little, and it wasn't even in existence yet. But I didn't know how to describe it to people. I was just like, I had this small little TV in my hand that I used to touch in my dream. And then I said these cameras used to follow me around, but they had fly around like helicopters, but they were small. They were drones, but I didn't know how to describe it back then.
Right. Right.
Hello? Ready to level up your music career? Don't get played, get protected. Scan the QR code now and download the Music Business Starter Pack, complete, with pro contracts, split sheets, and licensing agreements. Whether you're a producer, artist, or manager, handle your business the right way. Tap in, lock it down, create with confidence.
Not today.
Want to get paid every time your music is streamed, played, or synced? Let's break down how to register your music the right way. Step 1. Join a PRO, performance rights organization like ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC. Step 2. Register your song with the MLC, the Mechanical Licensing Collective, so you get paid for digital streams. Also, register with SoundExchange.com. Step 3. Use a publishing admin service like SongTrust to collect your royalties from over 200 countries. Step 4. Use DistroKid or TuneCore to distribute your song and register your ISRC and metadata properly. Or stay independent, buy your own barcodes, and own your own ISRC codes and distribute on your own independent website. Step 5. Always file a split sheet if you have collaborators. Publishing starts with ownership. Document everything. Want help setting this up? Follow for more music publishing tips.
Late at night I fall like on my feet, looking for something that I really need. Then I stumble upon a channel so divine, just like I found a portal to another time. A channel with a mystical flair. Gotta make the lessons set and clear. 369 time mission readings take me to the higher place. I'm locking my intuition, feeling spirit's embrace. From the back to psychic abilities, tarot cards and more. I'm catching all the vibes like I never did before.
Goodbye.
Previously on Putting Things into Context.
asked the question on Slow Bella, because I'm like, wait a minute though, because it started to happen to the point where, dang, deja vu again.
Deja vu, you be kind of confused, like, I've seen this before, I've done this before. Because it'll be moments where I just stop in my tracks, like, I did this already.
Is that what it means? Is that your perspective? That you, because it does, like, it's kind of the same thing for me. Like the other day when it happened, I was just chilling in my bed, watching TV, and I'm like, yo, this whole thing, like, actually already happened, and it's trippy. So you think it's, what is your take?
Do you like puzzles?
I guess. My initial response wouldn't be no. But then my immediate thought after that was like, I feel like I solve puzzles on a daily basis. So, I mean, I guess I like them. I do it all the time. But then like the actual basic, you know, like the 500 piece and yes and no. Yes and no. I would say I don't dislike it. It's like something that has to be like set up and stay. Like, whatever table, whatever anything it's on, because like you
have to apply that method to your thoughts, like doing a puzzle. That's how I started learning how to put information together. Was I used to watch my grandmother. She used to have these 1,000 and 2,000 piece puzzles on her dinner table, and like each day I would see she put different pieces. She would have certain pieces to the side. And that's how you got to do the information. You got to know what to put to the side, come back later. Sometimes you got to come back days later.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I mean when I say you got to put it in your back pocket. Take it out when you need it. Yeah. For sure. But then I wonder what happened, or what did I need to remember about the time that I remembered that I was going to be here, or like saw myself here before when I was there and I didn't know what I was seeing, and which part of the puzzle is that? Like, that's the thing. Wanted to make it make sense.
It's almost like you're reassuring yourself that you're going down the right path, because you're seeing,
I love that. Yes.
Where you were, you know, before you were there.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. And that's a good way to look at it. I feel like it's a sensical way. It makes sense. Yes. Okay. So, I'm about to jump. Going back to the deja vu thing, do you think that it's happening more, or, you know, you recognize it more often, or however way you want to say it, because you're trying to tell yourself something? Or do you think it's just only because you only been there before and that's it? It's not like you're not trying to deliver yourself a message.
Yeah, I'm sending myself messages. I'm answering my own questions. I'm living out my questions, basically. So anytime I ask myself something internally, it ends up happening, plays out, and it's answering myself. Is answering myself. Even just like how I cross paths with people, it's a reason why I cross paths with them. It always has a purpose. There's no mistake. We're doing it for a reason. Like coming back to get information that we may wanted to know. Like I wanted to know why this place still exists, because I thought it didn't exist anymore. This dimension, this plane of existence, what people call Earth. So it's like I come back and then I'm getting answers by experiencing multiple lives over again at once to see how it makes sense. This place can be anything that you want it to be.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah, no, I understand. Are you getting any clues, any hints, closer to figuring out why it's a thing?
It's just choosing to kind of just experience something. I didn't know it was going to be this long of an experience of me being. It seems like I've been here too long.
What do you mean by that?
Some lives you can jump in and out. You don't have to live like a full life. You can jump from it. So that's why I say it's all based off of experience. But this being here is like, you never die anyway. You just keep going. But you're not always human. You're not always an animal. You can exist in many different forms. So it's still choices that you can make.
No, I feel like there's always gonna be choices.
Up in the clouds and growing. Do you wanna fly with me?
All right, I do ask you to go on ahead and check out, and then if you should so feel, subscribe to my live channel of Pretty Little Tale 333, as that is where we do our live reads. All right, let's see what y'all got going on.
Hey, you want to turn up the volume on your medical cannabis wellness journey, but don't know how? You want the ease of getting the products you need delivered to your front door? Then follow these 3 easy steps. Step 1, go to nugmd.com, your portal to a hassle-free path to medical cannabis. Answer a few quick questions and see if you qualify for a medical recommendation letter. It's a remix of convenience and ease. Don't worry, you only pay if you're approved. Step 2, congratulations! You're approved and armed with your medical recommendation letter. Now, you can use the official 369 Music Talk Higher.health link to sign up and make your first purchase. Step 3, head over to Higher.health, your go-to destination for premium cannabis essentials. From soothing strains to focus-boosting blends, they've got the beats covered. Turn up the wellness, turn up the creativity. Visit nugmd.com and Higher.health today. nugmd.com and Higher.health, your rhythm to wellness unlocked.
The cards. So I Googled it. I don't remember if I Googled, but I did. And it was like, you have to find your birth card first. So I'm like, okay, I found my birth card. And then I had to go and it was like you have to find your card on the left side, and then the next 11 is gonna tell you about you. So I got a card that's not an option for me, and I was like, oh, that would be the case. And so I Googled it, and it was like, yeah, it's the wild card, or you figure out what it is. There's no path for me. I got the Joker card. I'm like, I was all excited, like, yeah, I'm finna learn some new shit. Like, what? There's nothing. Like, no.
You can do all types of spreads in cardology. You can get a spread for the day.
They
for
said
your
I had to start with my birth card, though. That's what they said. I had to
what is your birth card?
The Joker.
A Joker.
And when I Googled it, it literally was like, there's not much known about this card. This card is the wild card, and it can go whatever way the person. And I'm like, this is some bullshit. I mean, actually, it's not. I think it's kind of dope, but like, and I'm not surprised. But the irony is, that's the irony, that I'm not surprised. Like, this would be the case. I wanted to go down the rabbit hole. And I couldn't.
There is one birthday of the year that cannot be read by this system. This is December 31st, the birthday of the Joker card. Since the person born a Joker can choose to be any card in the deck, it is impossible. New Year's Eve was considered Fool's Day on that day.
I'm not a fool. If I'm a fool, then I'm the best kind of fool that there is. So there's no like turn left for me. Like, okay, well, if this person is like this, but this is what you can do instead. Like, is there anything?
No, you're gonna have to probably go to numerology, because it's like, since you can be everything, like I told you in your reading, like your energy is everywhere. It can go in and out everywhere. That means you have more choice. You have the ability to make more choices and outcomes.
Exactly what is cardology. So, of course, we all love playing with the playing cards, regardless of if we're playing spades, poker, blackjack, go fish, I declare war, or whatever your favorite game is. But did you also know that your playing cards were originally a form of divination? Cardology is a special divination system that is based on actual science in the ancient Egyptian calendar, and the purpose of that calendar is to enlighten one of the karmic circumstances of each day. In cardology, The playing cards actually function as a law of attraction tool based on the calendar day you were born. You will be very surprised how so many things are based solely on your date of birth and how your magnetic profile is based on the calendar day you were introduced into this world. And yes, we all chose the day that we were going to come into this world because there was a certain energy that we wanted to experience in this lifetime.
I mean, this is interesting because I always knew that I was like a wild card anyway. I just, just everything about just everything. How I just my birth, how I just got here. It's just everything. It's just, so it's just, I like when I find things that can make me feel as though I make sense. So it's really interesting that there's nothing.
It means that you can have multiple outcomes that happen based off of what you want to. So you have the ability to change it.
Baby, you know where to start. When you need a fresh cut, want that hair to slow. Fly Factory Barber Lounge is the place to be. In Lawrenceville, GDA, where you feel so free. So give them a call or just stop by. Fly Factory Barber Lounge, let them get you fly. With that 808 beat and the vibe so live. You leave with a smile and a stylish style. Fly Factory Barber Lounge, they'll treat you right.
369 merch. Link in description. Scan QR code now.
For video editing, shorts, thumbnails, and business card design, contact 369admingroup@gmail.com.
And so, okay, so I think I misunderstood numerology. Because is that not where you get your master number?
Yeah, you can get your master number from that, but it like numerology and cardology go together. Like it's the numbers, the same number and the definitions are used in cardology too. So, because each number has a definition and a characteristics with it.
So then I wonder, does this mean that I would be a joker card in numerology too? Not obviously not a card, but like that type of thing with numerology.
There's still ways to figure out certain information though. You can figure out certain things through cardology, but the numerology will give you like your numbers, your life path number, what's going to happen to you in this particular year, the year after this, which is the same thing cardology does. That's what the yearly spreads are. It's like what's going to happen throughout the year.
But isn't that what astrology does?
Yeah, but this is like cardology is each period. Like I'm in my Mercury period. So there's 2 cards for my Earth card, 2 cards for my planetary ruling, which I said is your sun, moon, and rising.
Right.
So there's 2 cards for each. And when you read these cards, it's going to basically tell you what's going to happen. Like mine was about business. Business would start getting better results. I would be in business with a female from a past life. Finances was supposed to go up and something else. And that's like all in your cardology, and that same thing would be in your numerology too.
Okay, so if I can't find that with cardology, then I could find it with numerology.
Yeah, in your situation right now, you would need to go to numerology right now and then
backtrack.
Yeah, because I mean, you could, that part of cardology I can't do. Like I can't do the names and stuff. But I know Aquarius Maximus do it. She did have an app where you could actually put in names, because everything you create has a birth date. So if I make a business today, 369 admin group, that's the birth date today. and I put that date into this cardology, it has a card, and then it'll tell me what's the energy for that name in my business that. So everything that you speak, create, it has an energy signature.
Happy Ace of Diamonds Day. Do you have your exit strategy? I bet you don't. So Ace of Diamonds is an energy that can be wildly successful. So much creativity. This is a master manifester, able to manifest their wishes and dreams because they have a 9 of hearts in Saturn, right? And the 9 of hearts is the wish card, and Saturn is crystallizing your wishes. So they're going to do what it takes to crystallize and make those wishes a reality. But as the old saying goes, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. That usually is the dilemma of the Ace of Diamonds. Like, once you get it, is this really what I want? Is this really restrictive? Do I want my freedom? Questions like that might pop up, you know, because there are 5s in the Ace of Diamonds. You got your 5 of hearts, which is the classic runaway. And you got your 5 of diamonds, which needs its freedom as well. Like, I can't be chained to a desk, right? But Ace of Diamonds make great workers, great managers. You know, they come around businesses and they stimulate activity. You know, they're what you want to see in a business. When you start a business, you want an Ace of Diamonds because that Ace of Diamonds is a sign that new energy is going to come through your door and prosperity is going to fall at your feet, right? So we get our Ace of Diamonds and we don't want to let them go because they bring so much good luck. They're lucky charms, especially lucky charms for King of Diamonds and business people. Queen of Diamonds as well, right? But that can get to be very, very, very restrictive for an Ace of Diamonds. After a while, they're going to want their freedom. That's why everything they need to do, they need to include their exit strategy. And they need to be very clear and very honest with other folks that that's what they intend on doing. There's nothing wrong with having an exit strategy.
PrettyLittleLife.com.
The 369 ambition, the vibes are high, intuition, and the inside capabilities that's amplified. Tarot reading, channeling energy so defined. Come on, join me on this mystical ride. 369 mission, reading sunrise sensation, unlocking secrets of the universe, no limitation. Feel the energy tapping to your intuition. We all in paths that's awaken our soul's mission.
Trying to build real business credit but don't know where to start? We've got you. Download the free ebook, Building Business Credit with Net 30 Accounts, your step-by-step guide to establishing credit the smart way. Perfect for creators, entrepreneurs, and small business owners ready to fund their growth. No fluff, just strategy. And it's free. Scan the QR code now and take the first step toward financial power. Tap in, lock it down. Create with confidence.
Not today.
Are you an independent content creator looking to be a part of a creative collective? Check out @369 Admin Group on YouTube for tips and advice.
Late at night, I'm scrolling through my feed, looking for something that I really need. Then I stumble upon a channel so divine. It's like I found a portal to another time. A channel with a mystical flair. Gotta make the lesson set and clear. 369 time mission readings take me to the higher place. Unlocking my intuition, feeling spirit's embrace. From a path to psychic abilities, tarot cards and more. I'm catching all the vibes like I never did before.
Goodbye.
But I wasn't asleep, and I immediately I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, but I didn't forget, and I was awake. I can't explain it though, but I wasn't asleep.
Hey, you want to turn up the volume on your medical cannabis wellness journey, but don't know how? You want the ease of getting the products you need delivered to your front door? Then follow these 3 easy steps. Step 1, go to nugmd.com, your portal to a hassle-free path to medical cannabis. Answer a few quick questions and see if you qualify for a medical recommendation letter. It's a remix of convenience and ease. Don't worry, you only pay if you're approved. Step 2, congratulations! You're approved and armed with your medical recommendation letter. Now, you can use the official 369 Music Talk Higher.health link to sign up and make your first purchase. Step 3, head over to Higher.health, your go-to destination for premium cannabis essentials. From soothing strains to focus-boosting blends, they've got the beats covered. Turn up the wellness, turn up the creativity. Visit nugmd.com and Higher.health today. nugmd.com and Higher.health, your rhythm to wellness unlocked.
aprettylowlife.com.
But I don't have or take issue with locking myself out of something that doesn't resonate with me. Like if I don't feel called to it, or it's like, you know what, I'm starting to learn about it. Now there's a difference between cognitive dissonance and just like, there's a difference between that, and then there's a difference with versus choosing to, you know, maybe explore it a little bit, and then once you're like, I don't like the way this feels, or this is giving me like a bad feeling, I feel like that's different than just, well, maybe not so different. I feel like I just, but do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm trying to say anyway?
It is a difference because I know that we tend to, you know, go towards what we resonate with, and then we can still get locked in a system of being content with what we're comfortable with and never go outside of it. So in order to, if you really are trying to like keep learning about yourself, something's going to happen that disrupts it to kind of forces you to keep learning or go outside your box, go outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, I don't think I have a box, but I get what you're saying. And I feel like that does happen, at least in my little bubble over here. I feel like that's something that happens to everyone. It's just, do you recognize it?
Through the many different layers of not realizing what had you kind of locked in a paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when I started learning like occult stuff, I wanted to know like the origins of racism and devil worship, and so I started studying like Aleister Crowley, Madame Blavatsky, seeing why they did things in a certain way. But just studying all this stuff, can people be possessed, their perspective, their mind state, their psychology, to get a complete round analysis of why they were doing what they were doing. And then it's like, once you start studying all this stuff, you realize like a lot of this stuff, they were just doing it for hype. They took information from other people. They purposely gave it a persona to make it scary for certain people.
How do you know that though?
Just studying it all, studying, like I said, the books, who write the books, where did they come from, their history, why they do it, how it relates, how I compare it to other people that do the same aspect or same type of magic, because it's not really dark magic or anything like that. It's all about energy. So even the labels, the definitions, most of it is psychology to control the mind, to make a prison in the mind. So it's like all this stuff that you fear, it ain't even no point of fearing it because you're all of it.
I mean, I agree with that. It would just be, so the books that you're reading about them, did they ever write any of them? Like,
you have different people. You got to look at who writes it and why. Like, you might have a person write a book on Madame Blavatsky, but then you learn about that writer. He was in the alt-right or something like that. He was a Nazi, or you got to know what perspective they're even coming from to even give you the information.
Yes, that's what I was, okay, I didn't communicate that well, but that's basically, that's what I was saying, or like asking. That's why I asked if they wrote any of the books that you read about them. That was.
And then the other part is just experience, because I was experiencing so many different things. I was like, okay, I gotta, like, I used to date somebody that was the granddaughter of Margaret Sanger, and Margaret Sanger was a eugenicist, and she was like a high-ranking Eastern Star, which is a Mason. Yes. And that's how I learned about them directly, was from somebody from their family that was telling me, like, yeah, we grew up doing black magic, and they were telling me all the things that they experienced. Yeah, and then I was experiencing stuff, you know, being around them. So I was like, okay, I need to find out what this stuff is.
Interesting. So you feel like you saw some shit firsthand?
Yeah, a lot of shit.
Okay.
Baby, you know where to start. When you need a fresh clip, want that head to slow. Fly Factory Bible Lounge is the place to be. And Lawrenceville, GTA, where you feel so free. So give them a call, or just stop by. Fly Factory Bible Lounge, let them get you fly. With that 808 beat and the vibe so live. You leave with a smile, then a stylish style. Fly Factory Bible Lounge, they'll treat you right.
Up in the clouds and growing. Do you wanna fly with me?
All right, I do ask you to go on ahead and check out, and then if you should so feel, subscribe to my live channel of Pretty Hotel 333, as that is where we do our live reads. All right, let's see what y'all got going on.
369 merch. Link in description. Scan QR code now.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I saw, what was it? Like a succubus, ghost.
Firsthand?
Yeah.
No, thank you. You know, and I understand that fear is an illusion, but there is some shit that I just don't, I'm okay with locking myself off to some things. I don't need to know everything. I can just see what I need to see from the outside of something.
That's what you think. Until you go through the experiences.
Nothing with the second. I'm good. And you know what? I'm okay with thinking that too. I could be completely wrong, and that is okay for me. Like, I'm okay being wrong about that in particular. So that's when I will write on out with.
But it all serves a purpose. Once you learn what it is and what it's for, why it happens, it's not necessarily something that's outside of you. It's just all different energies.
Yep.
You attract certain energies during certain periods and certain times. It's like cycles. Like, you look at nature. Nature has cycles. Certain things happen during the spring. Certain things happen during the summer.
Yeah.
Certain things happen when you have positive energy, when you have negative energy. So that's all a part of your experience here. So this place can be a prison planet, but the thing that's deep down in you, you know that this can be like a paradise?
I believe it's the way that you perceive and choose to perceive. Because before you can really even be like aware that before you can get to the point of choosing, you have to get to the point of realizing that you didn't already know at some point. Is that okay? Do you follow me?
Yeah, you can choose either or, but it's all a part of the lesson.
Well, yeah, because like you said, it's purpose. It's purpose. And it can be used, manipulated. What did you say? It's the atoms. I mean, that's honestly what everything breaks down to.
Just think about all the people that reincarnate, that know that they have reincarnated.
Yes, I want to meet them all and talk to them. And I want to know what I can do to be able to, but in all seriousness, yes.
But just think about the lessons that they have to constantly go through. Because some of these people, they remember multiple lives too. They'll remember 2 and 3 times. Like one person, he kept dying the same way each time. He kept falling in the river. Like the first time, some people murdered him, beat him up, threw him in the river. He came back. The guy that got him killed ended up dying, and he lived to see that. And then he fell in the river, died, and then reincarnated back again, all within the same family. So his family members are knowing each time he's coming back.
Okay, that's on the link that you sent me. Damn, I wish I had time to watch it. I'll watch it.
aprettylowlife.com. Watch Putting Things into Context on YouTube at 369 Dimension Readings. Subscribe now.
Gain Restones.
Guess I wouldn't know. They say crazy don't know crazy. So.
No, it's like the more that you start learning about like yourself and what this place is that's why a lot of people be in hermit mode. Like the more they start finding out, because it's like, damn, what's going on? What's real? Am I just projecting all of this? Past lives is all detailed information to me.
So you remember how many past lives? Because how many would you say that people had? It could be thousands. It could be all the way back to caveman time. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not going to claim that for me. But, I've heard stories and watched stuff where people were like, they're connected to Egypt. They're connected to Atlantis. They're connected to all of these places. And I'd be low-key jealous. Like, I want to know. I want to remember.
Man, I tried to count, but it's pointless to me, because it's like it's all spread out. So it's like the memories are kind of spread out, and then I put them together like a puzzle, because it is like a timeline in each life. But I remember so many different lives and different experiences. So when people be like, yeah, they from Egypt or something like that, those are periods of time, but it doesn't go linear. Like, why do you think there's no existence of those people now, the Mayans and Aztecs, and they didn't just disappear?
It was a different time.
There's like time portals. That's time skips, time jumps. It's not linear.
I wish I knew exactly how it was. I understand that it's not linear, but if the pattern is up, down, to the right a little bit, and turn around and jump, then I want to know that sequence, because I want to see some things. I will learn that shit. I gotta have 2 times. I gotta where do I have to go? But
it's just it's tapping into yourself.
Oh yeah, right, yes, but for real,
it's like the more honest you are with yourself, like your memories, the stuff that you're experiencing, you keep putting yourself to sleep by putting labels and locking yourself into a psychology. That's why I sent you that video. Like, your mind is a prison, because you keep talking yourself out of what you really are.
Well, I don't, personally, no, I don't. Well, maybe I do, and then I'm not aware to the manner in which I do, but I would like to think like I don't like to project negativity or what I deem as negativity, or just like things that I don't want, right? I don't like to speak those things, and I don't like, I'm not gonna ever be like, I hate myself, I'm so dumb, because that's not true. But so it's not like that, but I listened to that, and I understand what he was saying, but I don't know that that's me.
Well, you said it for yourself. You could be putting yourself in a prison without you knowing it, because you have so many layers of programming that you don't realize that are there. But the main way to realize what type of programming you have is fears. What do you limit yourself on? If you box yourself out of certain information, if you say, hey, I'm not going to listen to that information because I don't like that vibe or that energy, that means you're automatically locking yourself out of something. That's still a form of programming.
If you're a creator in music or video, at 369 Admin Group is where you get the tools to own your content, track your royalties, and build your empire. Subscribe now.
Are you an independent content creator looking to be a part of a creative collective? Check out at 369 Admin Group on YouTube for tips and advice.
Trying to build real business credit but don't know where to start? We've got you. Download the free ebook, Building Business Credit with Net 30 Accounts, your step-by-step guide to establishing credit the smart way. Perfect for creators, entrepreneurs, and small business owners ready to fund their growth. No fluff, just strategy. And it's free. Scan the QR code now and take the first step toward financial power. Tap in, lock it down. Create with confidence.
Not today.
Don't be that person in the gym messing it up for everybody. Keep it fresh and clean, or else I'm gonna point you out with this shirt. Click the link in the description or scan the code now.
Late at night, I'm scrolling through my feed, looking for something that I really need. Then I stumble upon a channel so divine, it's like I found a portal to another time. A channel with a mystical flair. Gotta make the lessons set and clear. 369 time mission readings take me to the higher place. I'm locking my intuition, feeling spirits embrace. From the path to psychic abilities, tarot cards and more. I'm catching all the vibes like I never did before.
Goodbye.
Because I've had a group of people, it's like, am I dead and don't know? Because the answer is kind of yes, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a very simple way to I guess say it. But okay, so can I ask your opinion on this? I was watching I'm always watching something, but I was watching something a while back, maybe like a month or so ago. And a lady was talking about how she went to sleep and she woke up, right? But when she woke up, she was not in the reality that she went to sleep in. When she woke up, and she like described it, and I don't remember all the details, so I won't try, but basically something along the lines of she thought she was still in a dream, right? She's like this, but she went to sleep in that dream and woke up to the point where she was missing home, and she just realized like, okay, this is obviously not some sort of dream. Like, I don't know, this is my reality now. Met somebody, had a whole son, raised the son until he was like in his 40s, and she like lived a life, like got a job, had all of that, right? And then one day she went to sleep and then woke up back in this reality. And then she said it fucked her up because she actually like lived a life, like had, she said, genuine feelings for her son and like her loved ones and friends in that reality, because she had finally come to terms with like, I don't know what happened, but I'm just not going back there. So she had built a whole life, and then she went to sleep one day and she woke up back in this life, and she said it really fucked her up for a while because she had to mourn the son that she raised for 40 years or whatever and all of that shit. And what do you think about that? Because I found it really interesting, and I wish that I knew her because I would have questions.
I don't know. I think it's possible because time moves differently when you dream. Like if you watch the movie Inception, I was able to do this. What they do in that movie, I started doing that when I was in the 3rd grade. I can go in a dream within a dream. I would go into 3 different dreams. And when you go to sleep, when you're having your initial dream, time moves 3 times faster than waking time, but it plays out normal. So I did a little test where I went to sleep, and then within that dream, I find this location. It was usually like my grandmother's house. I'll go cover myself up in a dream and go to sleep again. And then I'll find another spot, go to sleep again, and I'll be in that dream for like a week. So it'll be days passing. I'm literally getting up, eating, talking to people, go to sleep, wake up again, and I'm still in a dream. And then I'm like, damn, it's Tuesday. And then I'm like, damn, it's Wednesday. And I when I first did it, I panicked like, oh shit, I'm dead. I think I'm dead. Because I've been in this dream for so long and time is running regular, it seemed real. So I'm like, there's no way I'm still asleep. And when I woke up, only 3 hours passed, but it was like 3 days.
That'd be trippy.
So I think those people, I think it is possible to leave. And because I've left my body while driving and don't even know how I got to my location without crashing. But I was somewhere else.
Yeah.
Visually, like I'm daydreaming literally, and I'm there, and then I'll just come back like, oh shit, how the fuck? I'm gripping the steering wheel, like, what the fuck did I just do? And I left and went somewhere else. So somehow this body can be on automation without you in it.
It's just trippy.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do if I was that lady though. Or you feel like you have to mourn. I don't know. I mean, I've definitely had dreams where I felt like I could feel like like I've woken up feeling like with leftover emotion from a dream, and me having to like go outside legit and touch some grass and try to ground myself like, okay. And I've had those situations where it's like, take me damn near an hour to just get back to,
This period may bring an unwelcome letter or news, perhaps from or about a sick person. Unfulfilled desires for knowledge or unrealized goals are also possible now. Projects, plans, or ideas that begin now will be challenging and require more work than imagined. Doing things halfway or sporadically will not work. Distractions and a lack of focused effort could bring disappointments in this regard.
Hey, you want to turn up the volume on your medical cannabis wellness journey, but don't know how? You want the ease of getting the products you need delivered to your front door? Then follow these 3 easy steps. Step 1, go to nugmd.com, your portal to a hassle-free path to medical cannabis. Answer a few quick questions and see if you qualify for a medical recommendation letter. It's a remix of convenience and ease. Don't worry, you only pay if you're approved. Step 2, congratulations! You're approved and armed with your medical recommendation letter. Now, you can use the official 369 Music Talk Higher.health link to sign up and make your first purchase. Step 3, head over to Higher.health, your go-to destination for premium cannabis essentials. From soothing strains to focus-boosting blends, they've got the beats covered. Turn up the wellness, turn up the creativity. Visit nugmd.com and Higher.health today. nugmd.com and Higher.health, your rhythm to wellness unlocked.
Crazy how that happens. It is experiences. I mean, I guess that's really what all this is, one big experiment on top of millions and millions and millions and millions of little ones. But it is interesting how experience things, pain even is a teacher. Pain is always a teacher. But it's just like, damn, I gotta hurt though. Like I can't earn it without the hurt part.
Yeah, that's the part that drives me crazy.
But I can't say I have learned and continuously learning how to deal with pain and handle it so much better. Not to say that I enjoy it, because that is far from the truth. But I'm at a point now where it's like, okay, Nick, what I need, even shit when I bite my tongue, I'm like, fuck, what was I? Was I not supposed to say that? Like, damn, who cares? Like, sometimes, I'll be thinking a thought that's, I probably shouldn't be thinking, I'll bump the shit out of my elbow or some shit, just pain. That's bringing it down to the smallest, minute levels. But then you have, like, your big pains, like, the shit that be really sucking. And those be the biggest teachers.
But it's like, as I got older, I understand how it works, to where you're taught systems and you adapt that system as your reality. It's the same thing for tarot, where it's certain people that never go outside of tarot, and you're not understanding that it's actually under something else. It's not even the whole, it's a fraction of something. So I never wanted to learn like a fraction of something. I want to know as much as possible.
Right.
I always want to get to the source, to the original point of inception of how this was created.
Feel it.
I don't knock anybody. It's because I look at it as everybody's kind of speaking a different language. Because some people, they may not be religious, but they might be into what is it, like Igbo? Is that what it's called?
Oh, you're talking about like I know what you're talking about.
Where you have all these orishas and different gods. I view that as it's all different versions of you.
Okay.
But I understand when I hear certain people talk. I still listen to people, but it irks me sometimes, like when I have conversations with certain people, like when my mother passed and she wanted me to tell my father something, and I had put it off for a long time because I'm like, yo, y'all were religious. What's the point of me telling him this stuff? He's not going to believe it. And it was like my mother just kept coming to me like, tell him, you got to tell him. I'm like, he's not going to believe me. He's not going to listen to me. And she was the one that told me, make a video and start doing videos. And so I recorded a video for my father and, you know, passed a message on that my mother wanted me to tell him. And he was like, you know, you was right. Everything that you said was right in the video. And no, I wouldn't have listened to you if you would have tried to tell me this. Because I told him, I said, you know, if I would have tried to tell you this, you would have just changed the subject and you would have started talking about the Bible and said, God did this and God told me this. And he was like, yeah, you're right. And then still after that, he still goes back into his church stuff, you know, like I don't celebrate holidays. And he'd be like, why don't you come here for Christmas? I'm like, I don't, you know, I celebrate every day. I don't celebrate holidays.
So you wouldn't, just because they celebrate it, if you were just like, no.
Because I know what the environment is going to be like. I know what they're going to be talking about. It's going to be the same depressing things. People are talking about how sick they are, how hard they work. Everything is like an old slave rally talk. So it's like, I don't want to go into that energy of everything is just always down and then you're eating bad foods. It's just, the energy is just down.
Not eating bad food. Well, I guess you just typically, yeah, you're not bad foods. I feel you. It's draining. It's draining. I get it.
So it's just, I'd rather just be around or talk to people where my energy isn't going down or I have to repeat the same mundane topics over and over. That gets boring.
It does. And I check out. They just be talking and I be like, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. Come on down to the fly factory where the beats are bumping and the vibes are fly. We got the 808s kicking and the melodies move just like a fresh paint and a brand new. If you need a trim or a quick shave, fly factory barber lounge at your car. Yeah, located in Lawrenceville, GA. Give them a call or just stop on by. They'll hook you up and make you look so fly. Come on down to the fly factory where the beats are bumping and the vibes are fly. We got the 808s kicking and the melodies move just like a fresh paint and a brand new. If you need a trim or a quick shave, fly factory barber lounge at your car. Yeah, located in Lawrenceville, GA.
This ain't just a shirt. It's a whole attitude problem with a chain on. 369 Ice Grill Bear. Cold stare, colder teeth. For the ones who laugh last and flex first. Wear it like you mean it, or don't wear it at all.
Late at night, I feel like on my feet. Looking for something that I really need. Then I stumble upon a channel so divine. It's like I found a portal to another time. A channel with a mystical flair. Gotta make the lights on set and clear. 369 time mission readers take me to the higher place. I'm locking my intuition, feeling spirits embrace. From the path to psychic abilities, tarot cards and more. I'm catching all the vibes like I never did before.
Goodbye.
Up in the clouds and growing. Do you wanna fly with me?
What's up, my wonderful fabulous Virgo? How is it going? How are you feeling?
Anything, I process everything by reverse engineering. I look at it. I look at why did they teach us evolution? Why are they teaching us Darwinism? So reverse engineer and say, what's the purpose of it? The purpose of it is to make you think a certain mind state, to form a certain psychology, which forms a certain behavior, which allows somebody else to be in control of you, and you will never know what you really are, but they know what you are. So that's how I start figuring out why we are taught certain things. So real way to become conscious of yourself is learning how to teach yourself. It's not in a book.
Right.
It's not going to be certain things. It's like you got to learn how to teach yourself. You got to learn how to turn off the labeling, the judging, fear. The fear is like the hardest thing to turn off.
It is. I think for me, I can only speak for me. That has been like a stage thing, like in stages. Like maybe fear used to be up here, right? With whatever, just to say life, right? And now, you know, as time has gone lower and lower and lower and lower, and so it's a more controlled kind of thing where it wasn't always like that. Like that was learned. Even be able to turn fear off, which for me, straight up, like I still work on that. Like when I feel it coming in, I have to like consciously be like, this is an illusion. You know what I mean? And then also just try to recognize like, okay, but am I sensing something? Like, what is this? But on like a very basic scale, this is an illusion, right? Is that part of the programming then?
It's part of the program. I view it as a game, like a video game. I kind of view it like Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
There's levels, there's markers, there's certain parts where you're gonna add new weapons or new stuff to your cache or whatever. That's how this life is. It's like you learn stuff, you go through these phases, and there's these points where you hit these markers. And those markers are usually people in your soul group, soul tribe, or whatever you want to call it. You're gonna have these distinguished points in time that let you know your reality of what you thought it was isn't what you thought it was. So this
I feel
game,
like that's a real thing.
It's a game to me, and and we do what, like I said, we duplicate everything what we are and what the physical body are. So in order for us to create video games, TV shows, movies, it all comes from a real place. It's a real thing. So when I tell people like hit movies, those are really memories, and those are real events that have actually happened in another time, so to say.
And as such, right? Because you could say in another time, in another dimension, what have you, that would make the creators or creator of that movie, of that experience, creator, right? A creator, because that's like, literally what it is.
They're creators, but they don't even know the macro of what they're actually doing, because they might put together writers, stunt people, punch up writers, you got grip people, and they may never meet each other, but they all come together to make this content or movie, whatever it may be, and it's an actual real thing, because that programming is in all of us somehow through this matrix, this energy matrix. It pulls information from us and it makes us push it out. So everything that we see is something that is already in us. We're projecting it outward. So we're always creating everything around us. That's why it's like everything is tarot around us. We can speak to it, we can affect it, we can change it, but we don't like to think it's us. So we start labeling it. We give it modality names. We call it religion. We call it tarot. We call it meditation. And we start confusing ourselves more and more, because we start dividing it up more and more. So that's kind of the point where the mind flips to where you keep trying to compress it all down to this being the only reality of your existence, and it's not.
Right.
We leave here all the time.
When
and
we
then, like,
sleep, for example.
yeah, and then like you had said about like the spirit, how does the spirit world and all of that coincide with all of this? Those are other experiences that we also experience. Like, I remember being a ghost. I remember being a what you would call a spirit guide. It's still, you're not in a body. I remember being a watcher, a protector. These are all the different things when I didn't have a body. So those are still forms of existences where you have a so-called life, but it doesn't involve eating. You don't breathe. You absorb, not in a body. Yeah.
Like a light, or like your essence, or you're like a light, or whatever it.
And you don't absorb
whatever
energy.
You had it.
Like we absorb energy and give energy differently in each experience.
Okay, yeah.
So like when, like Monsters Inc., the cartoon, that's a real thing.
Right.
Like when you're a ghost, scaring people actually is like eating. It gives you like a high. You feed off of it. It's not a bad thing in that realm, but in this dimension, but in this dimension, you're taught to believe that it's bad. But in that existence, it's not viewed as bad. It's perspective.
What is the deal when you have situations where people are like, oh, this place is haunted, right? Which, okay, it could be haunted because there's the paranormal activity there, right? Because they're eating. We can just say that, right? So we just use that as an example. The ghosts are eating. And that's like giving them energy. We'll say that is giving them energy, right? What happens when you have those situations where it's like there's actual like physical harm that's done to living beings in this realm from the other side, I guess, for lack of a better way, for that paranormal? Like, we don't really hear about it a lot, but you know, there are always those stories of, well, this and this and this happened to this person. They were the only person there. You get what it is that I'm trying to say? Like, so if it's just perspective and it's like, okay, well, it's just this person's perception, right? They're perceiving it to be a scary thing, or that's how would that explain someone having like an actual physical harm or something? Do you get what I'm trying to ask?
You got multiple things that can happen at once. A person can die, not know that they're dead. A person can be aware that they're in another realm, you know, aka a ghost, and not know how to function within that body or that experience, like how to communicate. Because I've been in those situations where I know that there are other beings that exist around us that we can't see. You would call them ghosts. Because I remember as a baby, I used to sense a woman sitting in my bed, and I thought it was my mother, but it wouldn't be nobody there. Then I would hear like footsteps walk around my bed. Nobody was there. And we even moved to a whole nother house, and the same thing would happen in my room. You would hear footsteps of somebody walking in my room. They would walk around my bed and walk around the other side and then walk back out. It was like they were always checking on me. So I'm like, okay, maybe that was somebody from another life. I just can't remember who they are. So these things are possible because we can exist in all types of forms.
Do you write your dreams? You don't?
Just remember them. They're like everyday life experiences.
I've been writing mine for almost 2 years, and it became a habit. Like I said I was going to do it, and now I just do. Like I'm able to just not even be fully aware, I guess, in this reality, I guess you could say, and write it down. It's just really interesting because I feel like none of us really know what a dream is. I think some people are more aware of maybe what it is, but like I don't feel like any of us really know in no uncertain terms this is exactly what it is. I do feel like, I mean, obviously we travel, right, and we're tapping into different consciousnesses, but then do you think it's ever possible that a person just does not dream?
People tell me that, and I be thinking those are the NPCs, but I've had other people that say they're conscious and they don't dream either.
Because I've only met one person, that at least that I'm aware of, you know, I only know people tell me, right? But that I'm aware of that literally looked me in the face and I actually genuinely feel like they just didn't dream. And I'm just like, I cannot relate to that at all. Like I literally don't. And it was almost like a thing where I want to believe that maybe they dream and just don't know. But then but like ever. But yeah, I met one person. I've met a person in life who's like, yeah, no, I just don't ever dream. And
That's crazy.
I had no choice but to believe. Like it just whooped this person to have. I was just like, I don't know. Yeah. And so yeah, it's interesting though the experience that I ended up having with that individual. So it does kind of make you wonder, like, is that an NPC? Like, are there really soulless beings?
Yeah, it is.
Do we get demoted to it? Do we like start to lose pieces of our soul, or are there just like?
No, I think I think you make a choice of if you want to be lost or not.
So it makes you wonder, like, well, which side of this am I on? Like, because if I had a group of people, it's like, am I dead and don't know? Because the answer is kind of yes, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a very simple way to I guess say it. But you can say, but then we're also living, so
we're living where we're not in the body, though.
So now we're in this matrix, right? We're not in NPCs because we might still retain programming or memories from before, which is right now. Okay. But that being said, we're all still NPCs or whatever until we wake up. There are some that are more aware than others that know more because they know more, they do more, and they continue to just be more and more and more and more, right? What is it for?
Just filler. It doesn't really serve a purpose. It's just filler. Just like a game. If you didn't have those background people, wouldn't seem as real. You wouldn't be in the now or more engaged if you didn't have like all this filler. Because that's part of the distraction. You're multifaceted, multidimensional. So in order to kind of lock you in to an illusion of starting all over, not having memory, these things got to be here. It has to be here in order to have that struggle process, because you're not going to want to question anything if there's no change, no friction, no some type of disruption.
Side note, I just have to say, the song that's playing right now that I'm listening to is called Why. And I just think that's really funny because I'm literally at that point where why? What we're sitting here talking about, what is the reason? And I think that's where I'm stuck, but people have been stuck. And maybe the trick is, or not the trick even, is it that there is no why, because why is always changing, evolving?
Sort
of.
Not
looking at it right.
Kind of, it evolves because there's many whys, but that one about why even have this whole illusion thing is you really have to, answer comes from you because it's right in front of you, but it's like you have to be willing to do the work to receive those answers, because a lot of times we get the answers but we don't want to receive it because it's not packaged how we think it should be, how we think it should sound, how it's supposed to feel. Because I tell people a lot of things that I talk about, people they still back away from. So that tells me, okay, you're scared to understand about a demon or having demon abilities. People shut down. So, or even religious people, they're the most, usually they're the first to start shutting stuff down and be fearful and start being mean towards you because of fear. So it's like, okay.
It's not seen though. That's the thing, and how you can't make somebody see, you can't make people see things until they're ready.
That's the thing. You have to be ready. You have to make that choice when you're ready to take on that information about yourself. It's not actually external, it's actually internal, because like I said before, a lot of people assume that I'm from the military, the army, but I remember my lives that I was in the army, and I flown planes, I hunted people down. And it was like, in this life, I was like, I didn't even want to be in a body again. So it's like, in this life, I'm definitely not going to let somebody else control me. I don't want to be in the military or army. But having that memory of what I did and carrying it over and still making choices in this lifetime of what I want to do, but that energy is still on me of what I did in other lives.
Oh yeah, come on down to the fly factory where the beats are bumping and the rocks are fly. We got the 808s kicking and the melodies move just like a fresh fade and a brand new. If you need a trim or a quick shave cut, fly factory barber lounge got your covered. Yeah, located in Lawrenceville, GA. Give them a call or just stop on by. They'll hook you up and make you look so fly. Come on down to the fly factory where the beats are bumping and the rocks are fly. We got the 808s kicking and the melodies move just like a fresh fade and a brand new. If you need a trim or a quick shave cut, fly factory barber lounge got your covered. Yeah, located in Lawrenceville, GA.
Welcome to the 369 Dimension Readings. Today's message isn't about pulling cards, it's about listening to what's already within you. I pulled 3 cards and the universe has something real to say. The first card I pulled was the 9 of Cups reverse. The 9 of Cups in reverse is a gut check. What are you chasing? Is it really making you happy? This card tells me it's time to get honest with your joy. Cut to the ego, drop the facade. Real fulfillment starts when you stop pretending. The second card I pulled was the 10 of Swords. This is a closing chapter. Painful, yeah, but needed. The 10 of Swords is clear. Stop hoping something dead will revive itself. You already know it's over. It's time to heal, not recycle what broke you. Last, the third card that I pulled was the 2 of Swords, reverse. This means stop playing tug of war with your past. The 2 of Swords reverse is saying be at peace with your decision. Don't go back. Don't overthink. You've already outgrown that version of yourself. Now act like it. So what I get from all 3 of these cards by looking at them, you might feel like you're in a void right now, like nothing's moving, but the silence is sacred. It's your reset space. Train your thoughts, not your fears. You're not waiting for something to happen. You're preparing to become the thing that happens. Go forward. Don't look back. Ask yourself, what can I do today to align with the version of me I say I want to be? The answer is your intuition speaking. Trust it. I'll be dropping more readings like this where I'm just getting straight to the point, give you your message without all the fluff. So if you like this, make sure you subscribe, share, like, and tap in.
and I'll holler at you guys later.
Ever feel like your wardrobe's just meh? Same here until I found the 369 Blue Camo Bear Pisces collection. Picture this, a lazy Sunday morning, wearing my comfiest tee and socks from the collection, total bliss. Say goodbye to boring outfits, spice up your look effortlessly. Grab yours now, trust me, you won't regret it.
Hey everybody. So I was talking to my peeps and I was like, I'm gonna do random free reading days. Today, we're gonna do a couple of readings, but you need to know your card and you can get that on my website. And of course, you need to know your age. So this is the Three of Hearts day. So happy Three of Hearts. And the Three of Hearts has an Ace of Clubs in Mercury. So that's a lot. That's readings. So some of the best readers are Three of Hearts, or people who have a Three of Hearts in their card. So these are people that could really tune in and tap in. So I was like, this is a tune in, tap in card day. So I think I'm going to get up on here and do some readings. Hey, everybody. We got a 47-year-old Eight of Clubs. Okay, so let's look up. We got, you notice I'm pulling like the 45, 46, 47, that little age range. That's what's tuning in today. And if you're tuning in today and you're in that age range, that means that this Three of Hearts is for you. And that means that the Three of Hearts is telling you to put some attention, go back to your inner child. Go back into some of the things that you really, truly wanted to do in life, right? Be carefree. Get out and experiment. Don't think that you know everything in your head. Be like a child. Like, be curious, because it has an Ace of Clubs in Mercury. So be curious, right? That's what this Three of Hearts is telling you. So this is the secret to your joy. And like I said, we got an Eight of Clubs, age 47. Just one more age down, and you don't move, and the grand solar spreads. So you always start out in Mars, So kind of what that means is, being in the Mars row, you got to be very intentional about everything you do. Think about it like you're pulling an arrow and you're shooting for the bullseye. At everything you do, you're shooting for the bullseye. Because your transformation card is the Seven of Diamonds and sometimes the Nine of Hearts. So that means that you can get your wish, and you obtain your wish by focusing and pulling that string and hitting the bullseye. The problem is, because your cross section is Neptune, you oftentimes may get fixated on the wrong thing or the wrong person, right? So you have to do a lot of work, a lot of kind of like godly work, in order to be able to pull that arrow and hit the right bullseye, not the bullseye that's over there, but the bullseye that's over there. So you got to be equipped. You got to do your spiritual work. You got to do, it's best to release. It's best to get rid of, when you're getting ready to focus on something that you want, you should get rid of everything, or just make room for it, right? So you don't have nothing to distract you. You're not distracted by the wrong things. All of that is just very, very, very important. You know what I mean? So you have a Four of Spades pushing you forward for life, like all the time. You know what I mean? And, that's like very good. So it's like there's support out there for you. You know what I mean? There's always support out there for you. So you can just reach into, there's always people, let me say like this, there's always people waiting to pour into you, right? They don't know what they're pouring into. That's what you get to decide what it's going to be. But they're always ready to pour into what you have going on, especially
if you got a solid direction and you're very firm and secure about what it is you got going on. And this year, your Mercury is the Jack of Diamonds. So we're running across so many Jack of Diamonds, so many people who are supposed to be an entrepreneur right now or getting into entrepreneurship. Sorry about that, y'all. Got this off. So you're another one, entrepreneurship. So this is telling you where you need to focus your arrow. Like you need to get razor sharp towards your entrepreneurial journey, right? And it has a 10 of spades and Venus. So that means if you work very hard at it, there's going to be lots of money coming your way. You know what I mean? And that 10 of spades is sitting in the spot of the 4 of spades, right? So it's telling you to build your dream situation, right? Because you can take, it's only going to be your dream situation that you're going to obtain the type of wealth that you're looking for. You're not going to just get wealth for something that you don't care about and whatever. But this year, the potential for you to build either the foundation for your dream situation and your wealth or actually obtain the wealth. But whatever it is, you're going to get a taste of it if you do the work, right? And a big portion of this year is that 7 of spades, which is faith. That means that wherever you're headed, you have no idea, but it's good. You just got to keep on going, keep on taking them leaps, right? Take the leaps through the challenges. You will be challenged. That 7 of spades is displacing the 3 of clubs. So your challenges could be with paperwork. Your challenges could be with writing, communication, creativity, getting it all together, cleaning up the mess in your life. Maybe there's some mess that just comes out of nowhere. A lot of times when I see people, and because you're actually an 8 of clubs, the 3 of clubs is going to always be that underlying card for that because it's in that position. So a lot of times for me, because I'm also an 8 of clubs, Mars is paperwork. It's like paperwork will stop me dead in my tracks. Paperwork will stop me from my next $1 million. Paperwork will stop me from whatever, right? And when I get to the point where I actually have to do paperwork, like I feel so drained. I feel so, I'm like, why can't it just be easy? Why can't you just hand me the money? That type of energy. So look to situations like that to point to big successes and big money for you. Paperwork. It might even be writing a book. You know what I mean? It could be a book. It could be some type of creative endeavor. And you might feel really challenged in doing it. Go towards the challenges. That's what being an 8 is about. Being an 8 is a person that gains successes from going towards the challenges, period. Okay? You also have a 5 of diamonds. I'm not going to let you go without that. And you got a 5 of diamonds in Pluto. And the reward is the 4 of clubs. That's me. Right? So I am urging you to make some changes that are going to bring you satisfaction in your life. And one of them is going to be investing. So make sure that you are investing. And despite the challenges you might experience with the 5 of diamonds, because the 5 of diamonds is one of those cards, you could start off with nothing and end with a lot, or you could get a lot and end with nothing. That's the 5 of diamonds. But the purpose of it is for you to learn the flow of money, for you to feel how money flows, feel what it feels like when it's coming into your life, when it's knocking at the door. So you know what to do, so you're prepared. And you're going to take that money and you're going to grow the money. You're going to invest it in different things. It could be real estate, it could be stocks, it could be crypto or whatever. But because it's in a Pluto position, it's going to be challenging for you. So maybe you don't know nothing about none of those things. Well, you better go find it. You better put yourself in it. Just do it. You know what I mean? You're going to get a little bit of crypto, a little bit of stocks, or a little bit of a small property or whatever. Just do it. My website is, if you don't know what my website is, and especially because you got to get your card, it's AquariusMaximus.com.
Watch Putting Things into Context on YouTube at 369 Dimension Readings. Subscribe now.
video editing, shorts, thumbnails, and business card design, contact 369consult@gmail.com.
Yo, you sure you got me? I can't pull up to school looking goofy. Dude, I'm a barber, not a plastic surgeon. Fly Factory got you covered, my guy. We don't just cut hair, we boost confidence.
But I wasn't asleep, and I immediately I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, but I didn't forget, and I was awake. I can't explain it though, but I wasn't asleep.
What if everything you've been told isn't the whole truth? What if the reality you're living in isn't as solid as you've been led to believe? What if what you see every day is only a fraction of the story, hidden behind layers of manipulation, power, and unseen forces? Join me as we explore the strange, the mysterious, and the unexplainable. We dive deep into the things they don't want you to know. But the question remains, is this your reality?
Bruh, I'm so hungry I could eat a damn dog.
This is my first time ever seeing someone who has the private traveler plates. He right in front of me, y'all. I am going to find out what he did because we need to free ourselves.
Oh, I'll tell you what he did. He exercised his rights. Get into this. I ran into a plate that said UCC 1-308. That means all rights reserved. So they're basically saying that their American rights and their constitutional rights are reserved. They don't have to sign up for a title. They don't have to register the car. And they don't have to sign up for your license to travel. Now here's one that says travelers. These people ain't playing. They surrendering them licenses. They surrendering them plates, them registrations, them titles. Yeah, we can get into that too. They surrendering all of that. Man, you cannot tell me that I'm not in alignment. You can't, because I be running into these cars. Look, another one. This one says not law. Not only are they canceling these government contracts, but they're also surrendering the tangibles. The plates, the registrations, the licenses. Come on, y'all. They are not playing. And they're even copyrighting their names and sending that to the Department of Transportation, the DMV, and the Department of State. Putting everybody on notice. Wake up, y'all. Smell the roses. Because eventually you're not going to be able to do jack, okay? I literally just seen content today explaining this. Watch this.
Where they want to be at this moment in history as we're looking at efforts across the country to prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights. Go ahead.
Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Literally told you. Like that. Like and follow for more content like this, and make sure you guys are following me on YouTube, Instagram, Clubhouse, TikTok, Facebook, everything. My name is Aliyah Chatoy. I love y'all. See you in the next vid.
You ever wonder what the world was like before European ships started showing up everywhere? Because according to history books, Europe was leading the world. But the facts tell a very different story. Before colonization, Africa had empires richer than any European kingdom. Before colonization, Asia was home to the world's most powerful economies and biggest cities. Before colonization, the Americas had massive civilizations that built cities bigger than London. Meanwhile, Europe, they were kind of struggling. But somehow, history got rewritten to make it seem like they brought civilization to the rest of the world. So tell me, Who's really rewriting history?
The new HUD Secretary, Scott Turner, posted on X earlier today, I think it was, that per the president's instructions, he is stopping a HUD program that funded FHA loans for illegal aliens. Are you shitting me right now, bro? What is this, comedy hour? Are you serious? So not only were they getting Section 8 housing, kicking American citizens off the Section 8 list, putting them down at the way bottom, the back of the bus, giving them the Rosa Parks treatment. These bastards were over here, just got here, ain't never paid into the system, can't get a job because they can't get work permits because they're illegal. You got to be kidding me. How did they get home loans? How did they get home loans that American citizens cannot qualify for because we've been up in this bitch for the last 4 years while Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have waged economic warfare against us? So, we couldn't qualify for any of these high interest ass loans, but they've been getting FHA. How did they get approved? They don't have social security numbers legally. How did they get in housing with no credit history? How did they get FHA loans? Y'all done stole people's identity. How did you Jimmy rig the system? And y'all want to whine about federal employees losing their jobs? I was a federal employee. I know they don't do shit. Give me a break. Y'all want to whine about that? Losing my job and my daycare, my kids. Shut up. Bitch, learn the code. Are you kidding right now? So they've been getting FHA loans. What? Were they getting VA loans too? Huh? Why not? They were using, the VA was redirecting money into their health care. Nothing surprises me anymore. Do you understand what I'm squawking right now? Illegal foreign nationals who were unlawfully present, who just crip walked over here, paid a smuggler to get here, got FHA loans that you cannot qualify for. They've been living in homes, not just apartments, not just hotels, like full, whole ass homes at your expense. Don't you ever cast another vote for a Democrat, ever, ever, ever again. Do you see how they treat us? Do you see how they do us? And they have the nerve to be squawking about President Trump in some signal leak. You abused me. I should file domestic abuse charges against the DNC. Y'all bastards abused me. You abused all of us. You gave foreigners who were unlawfully present here FHA loans. Tell me in the comments, do you qualify for an FHA loan? Over the last 4 years, when the interest rates went from 2.5% under Donald Trump up to like 7.5% under Biden, tell me if you qualify for an FHA loan over the last 4 years. You don't. But if you're an illegal, you did. That is so fucked up on so many levels. I can't even, the more I know, the more I can't even understand why anybody would vote for Democrats. I just don't, it just literally defies logic.
This right here, folks, is why you need to get your own food out in the woods in the wild, baby, or grow it. You're not even calling them tomatoes anymore. It's a biolocube. We ain't in Latin America. This organic means that the rest of the store, PLU number is 4. Throw it out the door. This right here, these are 9. 9 is fine. You can wash the pesticide off. Conventionally grown means that it's systemically introduced through the roots and that you cannot wash it off because the pesticide, herbicide, and insecticide is within it. Oh, you want another example of things to stay away from in the grocery store, you asked? Read your ingredients. That right there, do you see what that says? Yep, I'm talking about that canola oil. When it's superheated like they do in the manufacturing process, it's really bad for you because it oxidizes. For those of you who do not know what oxidation means, think of rust in your tubes. Just so y'all know, I am New Boot Goofing by Cal. They sent me a pair of boots because of my ice fishing video on YouTube. And don't worry, we're going to throw some things in here that are actually helpful for you to get at a grocery store if you don't want to be poisoned. For example, one of them is soup, not this soup. So we'll come back to that in a second. Feel free to pause the screen at any time if you want to pause and actually read those ingredients. And that is one of the biggest cheat codes that you can use in a grocery store is reading the label. Some of the things like cheese, you're not going to be able to just read the label. You're actually going to have to look up the manufacturing process to find out that they put wood chips in there. So this especially pisses me off. This is marketed to our children as a country, and it's got more ingredients than Czechoslovakia has in its full name. When you're talking about sodium sterol lactate, aka acid in your gut microbiome. Everything in this aisle is a simple sugar that's going to spike your blood sugar, make you a pre-diabetic. However, there are some good alternatives. As you can see here, the ingredients are all organic. Cane sugar, apple cider, strawberry juice, poppy for the win. Oh, and this one right here tastes like Dr. Pepper. If only all these people knew what they're putting into their bodies, but it's not their fault. This is what our country has, is our regulatory agencies, our EPA, USDA, and everything in between would rather sacrifice our health and our well-being for the profit margins in all of this food. As promised, here is a trustable soup. This is Amy's soup. Check out those ingredients. Everything makes sense. Nothing is hard to sound out, and you can grow all of that in a garden. That's a good sign. If you guys are interested in more in this information of growing your own food, you can grow your own food using grow kits. I ship nationwide to anybody that wants to. And you can also check out my hunting and fishing and camping content on YouTube. Also, my bigger TikTok account is called Blomtreezy. That's her last name, BLOHM. TREEZY. And you can also check out our website, growingfruition.com, GROWINGFRUIT, like the fruit, ION, all one word, .com.
Beatles music was just another job for me. I played on 21 tracks of the Beatles. Half of them had no drums because they kicked him out in the beginning. And the whole point is that whether you realize it or not, whether you want to believe it or not, it becomes irrelevant at this point. But you're going to find out that he's not on anything. The man made his money and everything else was made by live. He looked the part that they wanted. He was the one that he chose, and that's what they did. But the making of those records and the fixing of those records, 98% of them were first recorded early in England and brought to the United States to be done and fixed. That's why Mercury Records and Capitol Records, they both have Beatles albums. I did mine in the Capitol Studio in New York City. I had no idea who the hell the Beatles were or anything else. For me, is the hardest thing because I've had my life threatened too many times. And at this point in my life, I don't care anymore. And it really doesn't bother me whether I talk about it or do anything else about it because I don't have to go back there or to deal with it in life anymore. There are 4 drummers on the Beatles music. Ringo's not one of them.
I'll you some celebrities, okay? But they're like older celebrities, okay? Okay. For everyone you can name, I give you $1. Not yet. How confident are you? 1 to 10.
Maybe like 4.
All right. First person.
Chris Brown. You don't know what you did to me.
Tell me who this is.
I don't think I know that guy. Yeah, I don't know that guy.
All right, look, I need a name. Who do you think this is?
Saucy Santana.
Who?
Saucy Santana.
No,
And who?
Missy Elliott.
Oh, Missy Elliott. Can't get a money.
No. Next person, tell me who this is.
Will Smith.
Good job. Next up, tell me who this is.
Will Smith.
What?
Yeah, Will Smith.
No, it's not.
Who is that? And who is that?
Jada Pinkett.
Oh. So I don't get $1?
No.
Please.
No. All right, next up, tell me who this is.
50 Cent.
All right.
Why his name 50 Cent?
I don't know. Tell me who this is.
Princess.
Who?
Princess.
His name is Prince.
Oh.
Why you call him Princess? All right, you ready?
Yeah.
The next person, tell me who this is.
Elon Muskie.
No.
What's his name?
Elon Musk.
Oh,
Right.
I just want money. I'm not here to not get money. I'm here to get money.
Well, if you want to get money, you gotta get him right. If you tell me his company name, I'll give you $1. Start with a T.
Tesla.
Good job. Tell me who this is.
Michael Jordan.
No.
Oh man.
If you get this right,
You give me $2.
I give you $2.
Okay.
All right. Seriously, you ready?
Yes.
Who is this?
Blind.
Give me this.
Tell you this to your face. Black Hispanics between 14 to 21. They must get stopped.
At the end of the month, these officers, whoever don't have that arrest or those few summonses, they're pressured to find something. You might not see nothing. You're supposed to be visible. You might not see anything, but you go hunting, like bounty hunting for an arrest. Locking up some old guy, some homeless guy, finding somebody who's riding a bicycle on the sidewalk, who's spitting, and you bring him in.
The problem is when you go hunting, when you put any type of numbers on a police officer to perform, we are going to go to the most vulnerable.
The most vulnerable.
Of course, we're going to go to LGBT community. We're going to go to the black community. We're going to go to those people that have no vote, that have no power. If we start doing what we're doing in Midtown Manhattan, a phone call to the mayor's office is going to be made. That's going to be the end of it.
We're the predators, they're the prey. The worst thing you can have is a police officer that needs an arrest for the month.
So you're all minorities. How does that make you feel?
It's horrible.
This is something coming from the top that trickles its way down, and this is why we're all here today.
Can you see me in the mirror?
Yeah, I can see you perfectly.
I'm sorry, how is that possible?
Because it's reflecting you.
But it's not, there's a towel in the way!
All right, calm down.
I don't understand. I don't.
Well, come really close. How does it know that?
What do you mean?
How does it know?
How can it see me? My face is covered by a towel.
So?
I'm not even being, like, this is weird Matrix shiz. How can the mirror see me? How can it know I'm doing anything? How does it know?
I actually don't know. Please, somebody explain this. Please explain. I've seen videos where this happens, but I don't understand. I actually don't understand this.
How can it see me?
So, well, think about it.
I am not
No, wait.
mirror.
Think about it, right? How on earth can that sit? That is not possible.
Freaking me out.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like I'm in like a weird, different world.
Don't eat pork, I got bad news for you. I'm at Publix right now and I'm gonna show you something. You see this ingredient right here? Monodiglyceride. It's in almost every single bread product in Publix, which means that you're eating pork if you eat bread from Publix. Look at it right there. It's in all of these. Bro, I can't eat nothing. But some of these right here actually don't have it. This is the Cuban bread and it's safe. Look, you see the ingredients? This one is good too. The point I'm trying to tell you is that you need to actually read. Oh, wait. Let me show you something else. Okay, now I'm in this section, the hostess. You see that right there, mono and diglyceride? See right here, it says it can be derived from plant sources, including pork. They are not going to tell you if it's actually from plants or pork. More than likely, it will be from pork. And the crazy thing about it is that it's not just bread, it's cakes, it's cookies, it's crackers. Y'all really need to be mindful when y'all start buying a whole bunch of this stuff, especially if you don't eat pork. Chick-fil-A's bread got it. Burger King's bread got it. Wendy's bread got it. The only one that I saw that didn't have it was Five Guys. But it's insane how they're just sneaking pork into all our food. And if you watch this video all the way to the end and put it in the comments, stop sneaking pork in my food. That way I know you watched it, okay? Bye! And make sure you share this with a friend who doesn't eat pork. That way they know. Bye!
I got a question for Sylvia.
I have a really bad problem with social anxiety. I can't freak out. I can't.
You're doing pretty good now. But let me tell you where this comes from. You were accused of being a witch in a past life. You were put in a circle and you had to name 2 people. All 3 of you were hung. So no wonder you have social anxiety.
Thank you.
Thank you? What? Excuse me? You can't just throw that at somebody. Oh, okay. I'm a witch. I was a witch. Okay, my bad. I thought I was drinking too much coffee. What? How does psychic powers, like, how do they work? You don't want to touch my hand or something? You want to rub my palms? Just threw that out from conversation. Oh, you have social anxiety? Oh, it's because you were a witch and you were hung. And 2 other people were hung too. So that's why. She was like, she just took that on the chin. Oh, okay, for sure. Oh, yeah. I guess I was just a big old witch. I thought it had to do with my past or something. Big old witch. Should have known. Is that how you don't want to sell it a little bit? You know, dim the lights, light a candle. She said, like, you have to at least know that you're saying something wild. You know, when you're given this, what is this, diagnosis? She said that like you're just supposed to take that and just live your life. Oh, you were a witch. You were hung. Why, you don't know this? That was wild, and I don't think that helped her at all. She summoned up a lot of courage. And I mean, that's interesting for someone with social anxiety to be like, you know how I'm gonna find out? Live TV psychic. Feel like those don't really match. But you know, who knows? I don't know what these old school talk shows were on. I would assume, you know, you would want to produce just content. I would highly doubt this is real. Anyone with these powers is probably has a big white beard and lives in a cave by themselves in the middle of the mountains. You know, they're not just on a talk show, just like answering people who have their hands raised. You? Okay, quick psychic reading. Oh, for sure. You were Martin Luther King. Like, he didn't even do this. Didn't even touch the forehead. Was just like, oh yeah, well, you know why? You were a witch. Like, I don't like, it was like a little stank on it. Like, yeah, you know why? You witch? You were a witch. Like, you have powers, supposedly. So you don't want to ease it on me? Or, like, act like it was, like, the other person should be surprised? And then didn't want to really explain it. Just like, so that's why. Okay, who else? What? This woman is going to be tearing her hair out at night. And now she doesn't know how to fix it. How do you even fix that? I mean, I was a witch. I said something. I got hung. And now I'm nervous at parties. It's wild stuff. It's wild business. They don't make talk shows like that anymore. That's correct.
Elon have found another rogue government agency with zero accountability to the fucking government. Just like USAID. This one called USIP, US Institute of Peace. What were they doing? Roaming around the world, evidently exerting influence over foreign countries, except they had no fiscal oversight, no congressional oversight. No one even knows who fucking hired these people. 300 employees with the budget of hundreds of millions of dollars. So Friday, Trump sends what I can only assume, they say government employees, I'm guessing it's Doge officials, and they were prevented from entering the building by a private security force, right? So Trump fires the entire board and he sends them all back on Monday. Monday, Doge people show up with FBI agents, and once again, the private security team refuses to allow them in, and the president and are like, no, you got to let them in. So they get in there, they remove the president of USIP, Trump replaces him with a dude named Kenneth Jackson, and they get in there, and what they're going to find, Lord only knows. Hundreds of millions of dollars in a budget, and this USIP has had zero fiscal oversight, zero congressional oversight. No one in there has ever been elected. This is what we voted for, people. Our government has been completely out of control and run by, you have unelected people exerting foreign influence? In what regards? To what policy? Like, this is fucking insane. This is fucking insane. How many more of these government institutions are they gonna find that are just running around with absolutely no one fucking giving any amount of oversight? I bet you there's plenty more to find. Godspeed to Elon Trump and Trump. Like this, you guys are fucking killing it. This is a revolution, people. Doge and the Doge checks, the Doge rebate checks, right? The money they've saved, we're going to get, the taxpayers are getting a kickback from it. Word is that money is up from $5,000. It's now $9,000 per fucking taxpayer that we are going to see returned to us. These are great days, people. These are great days. And of course, it's nowhere in the media, right? Because none of the best information is, because the media is a bunch of lying sacks of shit. Good luck to you all. Long live the Republic.
It has been 2 hours since the JFK files were released. Here's everything you need to know. CIA was watching Oswald before the assassination. And a man named Gary Underhill, who was connected to the CIA, fled Washington after he said that a small CIA clique was responsible. And 6 months later, he was unalived and they said he took his own life. Where have we heard that story before? Hours before Oswald was unalived, the FBI got an anonymous tip telling them that you should protect Oswald because the same thing's gonna happen to Oswald that happened to JFK, and it's gonna be done by the same group. Despite that, no extra security was taken for Oswald, and he was unalived hours later. CIA memo says that a source told investigators that Jack Ruby and Lee Harvey Oswald met at a nightclub weeks before JFK's assassination. One that knew Ruby for years came forward and said that Ruby said he had to unalive Oswald, that there was a bigger picture, he was under a lot of pressure, and he was worried about the safety for his family. The KGB deputy director said that Oswald was never a KGB agent. Soviets were afraid that the JFK assassination would allow the United States to create an extremist plot to start World War III. Documents expose that the CIA had 34 secret bases around the world in Africa, Europe, Asia, and Latin America. At the time, the Italian press blamed the CIA. The FBI ordered surveillance on Oswald's whole family, including his wife, fearing she could become a public voice questioning the official story. There are over 80,000 pages, and this is just part 1, so follow for part 2. And as always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
See how America keep playing in our face? All of a sudden, it's coming home. And if you don't know what astronauts I'm talking about the ones that's been gone for 9 months. Lost in space for 9 months. No way to get back. But they receive Christmas presents. But they're up there with someone that continuously interviews them on a regular basis. Now, like I said before, I really thought they was up there by themselves. Only them two. But guess what? I found out they was up there with more people. And now, to continuously play with us, they dropped this. Oh, guess what? People came up there for them. They're coming home. Matter of fact, look at this shit.
After roughly
At
a
this point, I don't know what to
28-hour
believe.
journey through space, Crew 10 has officially docked at the International Space Station.
Yeah, right.
This beautiful approach shot by one of the astronauts aboard the International Space
Do
Station.
that even look real?
And the current ISS occupants, including Bill Butch Wilmore
Does
and
that look
Sonny
real?
Williams, who we've talked so much about, welcoming the team on board as the hatch opened, and 2 NASA astronauts, 1 Japanese JAXA astronaut,
Yeah, okay.
and a Russian cosmonaut floated on in for...
So all it took was a 28-hour trip. 28 hours. All it took was a 28-hour trip for these people to get there and get them. But they've been stuck there for 9 months. That's what they want us to believe. What I will say is I can't wait for them to get home. I'd love to hear the stories. I'm out.
Anybody else seeing this? Watch how far his face moves when he talks. Watch where my finger is. Watch his ear. Okay, I'm gonna track it. Look at his face. There's 2 faces there. There's a face behind a face. Quit moving. I don't know what's going on here. But watch. Look! Look how far his ear goes up. This guy don't know what to think either.
Exactly where we left off. Y'all want to see this video my niece sent me? I'm just gonna do this real quick. Show it to you. What we got here? We got 2 dogs chasing a cow out in somebody's backyard. What in the world? The hell is it? Oh, dog bites cow. Oh, cow is in the pool. Oh my goodness, dog is going in the pool after the cow. Oh my goodness, they are in the deep end. They are in the deep end. Oh, dog is biting cow. Cow puts him under the water, dunks him. Oh, he can't get out. He can't get out. They both stuck in the pool, in the deep end, over the head. What in the world? What's this in the background? Oh my goodness, we got a cowboy coming in. We got a cowboy coming in. Oh, he's got a lasso. Oh my goodness. No, 2 cowboys. Oh my goodness. Cow trying to get out. He's in the shallow end. Lasso. Oh, he's doing the lasso thing. Oh my goodness, he got the cow with the lasso.
Can you tell me what's wrong with this sample?
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Can you understand as a Black woman why I would have a problem with that?
Yeah, I can double check who...
How could that be a mistake? Because this King, that's my last name, right? Comma would be my first name, correct?
Yeah.
How do you misspell Kiera as Kong? That's insane.
Yeah, I can double check who did that. I'm honestly not sure who printed that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, preview coming from.
I'm on fire. I'm on fire right now. Like, that's unacceptable. And even if it is a typo, which, like, if they want to pull that and say that that's what it was, how? Seriously?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure how that happened.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So are you able to, like, go in and see, like who did it, what? Because was that in my chart? How does that happen?
Let me double check. No, like, that's not anywhere in the chart. I do see your name is listed, Kira King, which, let me see.
Right. Like, that's, like, reportable. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, that's, like...
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Let me just try to get more information, okay? I do apologize. Again, it wasn't me who, like, printed that label.
I understand.
I'm not sure how it happened.
I understand. I cannot walk out of this office without raising that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Up as a concern, because what do you mean? That's a Black woman comes into, right, doctor's office seeking care to be taken care of, and they receive.
Yeah. Okay, let me just try to get a little bit more info, okay?
Thank you.
I'll be right back. Medical assistant helping you today?
Uh-huh.
So she's just...
It was, I see that I put the name incorrect on there. It wasn't really my intentions to do that. Your name on there is not what it seems on there. Like I did mention to her, and she did mention to me that you want this all reported. That is totally fine. It wasn't really my intention to put your name like that. I did give it to you, and we were double checking it to see if it was incorrect or correct. We didn't mention anything.
We didn't double check anything. You said, have you done a sample like this before?
Have you done a sample, and then I gave it to you, and you went to the restroom.
Correct. So why are you saying that we were checking the name?
We were checking the name because I asked if it was incorrect or...
No, you didn't.
Okay, but...
No, you did not.
Okay.
You said, we walked to the door. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Correct me if I'm wrong. We walked to the door. You said, have you done a sample like this before? I said, no. And then, or I said yes, and then you said, okay. And then you opened the door. Right?
You opened the door and I gave it to you.
Correct.
Yeah,
so when did we check the name?
And then I gave it to you, and then like I said, it wasn't my intention. I literally just checked my computer just now to see the name, and I was like, I know why she's upset that I put the name on there incorrect. But like I mentioned to her, and I'm gonna mention to you, if you feel some type of way of how I wrote it and you want to report me, that is totally fine. But like I mentioned, like I'm saying it to both of you, it was really not my intention to put that on there.
So here's my thing. One, I don't understand how you could mistype something like that. I don't understand how you can write Kong instead of Kiera. How did you mistype that?
I was typing. To be honest, I type really fast. I don't double check when I'm typing really fast. I did put your name on there, but for some reason it went to an error. But if, like I mentioned to you, it was in.
So it auto-corrected from Kiera to Kong? That's crazy.
But
and then additionally, what I have a problem with now is that you're straight up fabricating that we checked the name on the bottle when we did not. Okay. Did we check the name on the bottle?
Like I said, for me, I did check it, and I checked it with you, but you...
So you checked it. So you made a typo, you were typing really fast, and then you checked it, and then...
No, I didn't check it. I just put it
So now you
under,
didn't check it.
I didn't check it. I just...
This is ridiculous. I'm done with this conversation. Okay, please give me her name and I will report it. Thank you.
I'll give you my name right now, okay?
Lost weight.
Cereal. No human being had a bowl of dry breakfast cereal prior to 1906. Cereal was invented by the Kellogg's brothers, and it was actually these companies that convinced people the healthiest way to start your morning was a bowl of cereal with milk. Also, oats are basically pure sugar. Oatmeal is good for one thing, and that's for fattening horses for the winter. Remember, breakfast is break fast. Lots of human and animal studies have shown the longer you delay eating breakfast, the more ketones and weight loss you will achieve.
Oh man, they got the good seeds. Ow! Man, let me get up here, man. Who would put this contraption in the way of food? I got a hard enough problem living out in the wild, man. Let me get up here and see if I can do this again. Let me see. I'm gonna just have to aim a little higher, get my trajectory right. Okay, I think I got it. Ha! Ooh, oh, man, I think I hurt my esophagus. Man. Let me try this one more time, man. Oh, this bush ain't high enough. Let me see. All right, let me get my hops on. Ha! Ooh, ooh. Man, I hit my head on that one. Man, that hurt. All right, how high is this anyway? That's about 8 squirrels high. Okay, all right. I'm gonna try this again. I think I can get this sucker this time. Hold up. If I just aim right, you just gotta aim. Here it goes. Ha! Got it. Man, I'm gonna eat all these seeds. There ain't gonna be no seeds left for no animal out here, man.
Underground structure of the Board of Education.
Everybody's been talking about school and education. Well, in etymology, the word education comes from the word educere, which means to bring out of you what's in you. Mm-hmm. Schools don't do that. Exactly. Schools give you something and you regurgitate it back, and that's how you get an A. This is called the 1902 Board of Education Act, okay? The endowment was given by John D. Rockefeller and Andrew Carnegie. They gave $30 billion. They actually owned the public school system, Okay? And I'm going to read to you what their mission was. It says, prior to the late 1800s, education was private practice that took place in private institutions or through home schooling. That all changed in 1902 when John D. Rockefeller created the General Education Board in conjunction with Frederick T. Gates. Now, who was Frederick T. Gates? Have you ever heard of Bill? That's Frederick T. Gates is his grandfather. So this is what Frederick T. Gates said. Let me skip. Albert Einstein said, never confuse education with intelligence. John D. Rockefeller said, I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. So at the advent of the Industrial Revolution, okay, at its inception, they had to create workers.
Okay, here's the deal. I give you this piece of fish. You sing me a song. I'm just kidding. Oh. There's the song. Woo!
Y'all are finally getting hip to what's really under the pyramids. Y'all are finally getting hip to who built the pyramids. Like, let's be so for real. Let's get into the age-old tea that we've been trying to spill for people, but they looked at us like we were crazy. Before we do, make sure you guys follow my backup TikTok account and my YouTube just in case this one actually gets banned. So a couple years ago, if you told people that this is what was possibly under the pyramids, they would laugh at you in your face. And now, scientists just discovered these coils that lead to a vast city under the Pyramid of Giza. That's very interesting. And it's also very interesting how it completely aligns with the Bible. I'm telling y'all, Nephilim built the pyramids. Have you ever actually sat there and learned the in-depth facts about the pyramids in Egypt? Not even mentioning the fact that there are pyramids all over the world. I bet y'all didn't know that. I digress. Let's stay on topic. The pyramids are literally aligned with the constellation of the stars. I believe it's Orion's belt that they're aligned to. The measurement around the pyramid of Giza is the exact number of the speed of light. When you go into the pyramid of Giza, sound travels, I believe, 3 times faster in there. At the very tip of the pyramid is something called ultrum. It's a mix of gold and silver. To this day, we still cannot mix gold and silver in a way that it will not combust. So many people are saying, oh, the Anunnaki are still here. The Anunnaki made the pyramids and they're hiding in those cities. No, honey. Those cities were built by the Nephilim and the fallen angels before the flood of Noah. It's literally all coming together. Did y'all hear about the scientists that went down there? They were going to send an AI robot down there, but he decided he wanted to go there himself. It took him a week to get to the bottom of it. He said at the bottom of this long journey down the pyramid, there was a body of water that was blue and had bodies floating all in it with perfectly preserved bodies, so preserved that he could see their irises, like the color of their eyes. That right there is crazy. So y'all are telling me you'll believe that, but you won't believe that Admiral Byrd found the giant ice wall in Antarctica, called it Operation High Jump, and then found lush green land in Antarctica? Y'all will believe that, but you won't believe the Antarctica story. Like, let's be so for real. These pyramids are nothing like y'all have ever seen. They are probably one of the biggest mysteries on Earth today. Y'all are wondering why there's so many tombs found with these ancient artifacts, these things that we've never seen before. There's this mind-blowing technology connected to the pyramids. That's because they are so far beyond our knowledge as humans today. You couldn't even imagine. The very first pharaoh was named Narmer, and Narmer ruled over Egypt in something called the Golden Age of Egypt, where it's inscribed in hieroglyphics that humans walked with the gods. The Egyptian gods, angels, and search, and you're gonna see. Don't even get me started on what's written on the side of the Great Sphinx that just about proves the flood and proves that fallen angels walked this earth. If y'all want me to get into that, I will in the next video. Let me know in the comments. There is way more to these pyramids that meets the eye, and if you think they're just a tourist attraction to go get pictures and selfies, you are so wrong. I could talk forever about how the world's greatest monuments proves the existence of heavenly history. Anyway, y'all, as always, make sure you like and follow and comment down below what you think.
I think religion, Christianity has played a part, a serious role in giving us this inferiority complex. As I don't remember who was the speaker who said, I mean, if the slave and the slave master is worshiping the same God, whose prayers get answered?
Cost of living in 1997, a life today's kids will never experience. The average price of a new house, $124,000. Average annual income, $37,000. Renting a nice place, about $580 a month. A brand new car, only $16,800. Gas, $1.23 per gallon. A dozen eggs, just $1.10. A loaf of bread, $1.15. A gallon of milk, $2.67. Movie tickets, less than $5. Coffee, $1.15 for a regular cup, and a tall latte would set you back $2.16. Harvard tuition, $27,585 a year. Disneyland tickets, roughly $26. And a Big Mac meal at McDonald's, about $3.50. So, how do you think you would have lived back in 1997?
Know that April Fool's is actually our real new year. In case you're new here, there are actually 13 months in a year, with each month consisting of 28 days. The calendar we use today has, for some reason, been altered to create these uneven months and has completely thrown us out of rhythm. Before our new calendar, we would follow the 28-day moon cycle. Just think about it. It makes perfect sense. If every month had 28 days, the month would always start on a Monday and end on a Sunday. You can't tell me that doesn't make more sense than it beginning and ending on a random day. Even when we look at the meanings of the names of each month, they tell us how wrong the current calendar is. April 1st, or April Fool's, is actually symbolic to us being fooled into thinking that January 1st is really the new year. We are connected to nature in more ways than you can believe. And when we follow nature, it shows us that the real new year is in spring. What's significant about spring? Well, it's when the earth comes alive again. The flowers, the trees, and even the grass begin to blossom and grow back. It's a sign of a reset. So why have we been told otherwise? Well, that's for you to decipher.
Is everybody tracking that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of brown and black bears guarding the entrance to the Yellowstone National Park? Like, that is fucking crazy. The things that they know that's going on that scientists haven't picked up on yet is wild. The moose and the wolves are also joining in and evading the middle of the national park. So what the fuck is going on?
Own their own wealth. It's their wealth, but they don't own it. Western companies own the mines in Africa. They extract the minerals. They set the prices. They ensure that the wealth will never benefit the people whose wealth it truly is. I mean, look at Congo today. Congo produces 70% of the world's cobalt. That's the mineral that powers your smartphone, your laptop, your electric car. Without Congolese minerals, there's no Tesla, there's no Apple, there's no Samsung. Yet the people of Congo remain among the poorest people in the world. Why? Because their wealth is not theirs. It's stolen by Western corporations, by Western companies. The system is kept in place through war. The West doesn't want a stable and independent Congo. That's why they fund proxy wars, why they support rebel groups like M23. They use other African governments like Rwanda and Uganda to do their bidding, to keep Congo weak so that the wealth remains available for plunder. Wallahi, this is a grotesque injustice. It's a grotesque injustice that disgraces the whole world. Congo is a bleeding, open, gaping wound on this earth. Understand this, Africa will never be free until Congo is free. No matter how well any individual African country does, the continent as a whole will remain wounded, mortally wounded, so long as Congo is being plundered. Please understand.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably come across the fact that there are a whole lot of celebrities that bear an awful similar resemblance to historic figures from our past. So similar, in fact, that you might mistakenly think they're the same people. Well, if you want to see something even stranger, stick around, because I'm about to show you a handful of statues that also bear a very striking resemblance to some pretty well-known people. Case in point, Michelangelo's David. You see, I couldn't help but notice a very striking resemblance between Baron Trump and David. And well, if you don't think he resembles King David, stick around, because he coincidentally resembles another very prominent historic figure. One that they also just happened to build a statue of. This is Alexander the Great. And again, to me, there is a striking resemblance. But this one, there's even more. Because when compared to Alexander the Great, not only does he bear a very similar resemblance, but the statue of Alexander the Great just happens to have the exact same 3 skin markings as Baron. Now you tell me what is going on here. But there's more. Have you ever typed in the original